This week, Mommy's bringing home the bacon as we discuss the mother of all slashers, 1980s, Friday the 13th. Hello and welcome to the Bloody Bits Horror Show. I am your host, Eddie, the Axe Jefferson, and joining me as always, the weed dealing, scene stealing, town drunk Tim Yobo. How are you doing today, good sir?
Why did I have a feeling that was going to be the guy you tagged me as, sir?
Because he reminds
It's got a death curse.
It's you. It's just you, Tim. But Tim,
the kids never listen anyway, so fuck them.
They don't. Fuck them. But Tim, we are not alone on this journey. No, we are once again joined by the lady who's as sexy as a game of strip Monopoly. It's Candice. How are you doing today?
So extremely sexy is what you're trying to say.
Oh, how do you keep an erection during strip Monopoly? It takes so fucking long.
Yeah,
eventually you sell your organs
it's
to pay for your mortgage.
It's a young man's game, I guess. That's what it is.
I guess so. So we are joined this week by longtime listener, first-time guest-er, friend of the show, and certified, I guess, Jason and Pamela fan, Jonny. How are you doing today, good sir?
I'm doing wonderful. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you all. I'm a big fan of the show, absolutely. I live and breathe Friday the 13th, the series. This movie specifically is wonderful. It didn't rip off any parts of any other movies at all.
Okay.
I'd like you to...
I don't care what the producers say.
I'm sure you will, but it just didn't happen. So this is a wholly original piece of fiction.
Completely original soundtrack, right. Not inspired by Psycho. Also,
God damn it! You took my note.
Fuck you!
And as long as you don't watch the commentary track, yeah, it's completely original.
As long as you see nothing else about any behind the scenes.
The soundtrack is quite intense, actually. We can talk on that later, but
it's great music.
Yeah, it's very busy. A lot of strings going on.
A lot of strings going on. A lot of effects over the voice doing the fun
the
kill ma over and over. We'll get to all of that, but before we do, everybody's favorite segment, Candice.
Well, hold on, Jonny. Is this your favorite segment?
You know what? I really like this segment because I learn about new things that I should watch or not watch.
Exactly.
Maybe.
That's why
it's
I came
actually pretty
with
informative. So if I don't like
the
movie, I sometimes will just turn it off after the. I'm just kidding.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Also, we need to drag the segment out long.
Let's do a full show of what are you consuming, and that would be
shit. I could do it.
Yeah. Sometimes you come to me and you're like, I got nothing.
Me? No, I always got something.
So speaking of having something, Candice, what'd you catch this week?
A good time. I caught Super Mario Brothers movie, and it was fun. Like, immediately, the first thing that happens is the Mario rap. So, I was embarrassing my children, dancing and singing along with it. I'm, like, doing my little dance.
In the movie theater?
In the movie theater that was completely crowded. I was sitting next to a grandma and her little granddaughter.
Okay.
If you're sitting in the movie theater and your feet can't touch the ground, how can you dance?
Well, I had the recliners up.
Oh, so you danced on the recliner. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. And then immediately he goes into parkour. People are bitching because they're like, it has no plot. It literally has the plot of a Mario game.
Fucking Mario movie.
It's Mario, and he is trying to stop Bowser from taking over the world and marrying Princess Peach. Like, that is literally the plot of this movie. That's all you need. But it has so many deep cuts. Like, it has the mini mushroom, and like I was pointing at the screen. I was pointing at the screen and yelling because it had a Super Smash Brothers Melee reference.
What? You were yelling at the screen, Candice?
I wasn't the only person yelling at the screen, pointing out every single Easter egg in it.
Was it mostly children in the theater?
It was mostly children with their accompanying adults. Yep.
That's how Candice sneaks into these movies at half price.
Yeah.
The husband goes, 3 children, please, and 1 adult.
Put the pigtails on tonight.
So, how medicated were you?
0. I was completely sober. I was taking my children out to see a movie.
You can't be tripping balls with the kids around. They're harsh in a buzz.
That's a good point. Okay, a couple of questions about the movie. Number 1, is Bowser bisexual?
Oh, I bet he... Oh, yeah, there's some definite overtones in that movie involving him and Kamek.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's a love triangle.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to know that. Do we get any Birdo scenarios?
I did not see Birdo or any reference to 2. Well, there was some dialogue reference to 2, but yeah.
No
they did
Birdo,
reference
no
that it was based
Mouser.
on Doki Doki Panic.
I don't know what any of this is to me.
Nor do I. I was just going to say that. So, I mean, what the hell?
Okay, so we got the Super Mario
this is
Brothers
favorite
movie.
part of the show.
So far, it's winning me over.
This is 30 seconds fast forward, 30 seconds fast
It's exactly what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be exactly like a Mario game, and it fucking was. It understood the assignment.
Did your kids like it? How about that?
Oh, they loved it. My son's like super into animated movies, and he's like, "This is the best thing Illumination Studios has ever made." That's what my son said about the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Kid knows about the
nerd
studio.
comment there.
Well, he's my son.
Well, that tracks.
Oh, so he hates A24, huh?
Yeah, he doesn't reach that level. But I'm sure he will have some thoughts when he gets older.
So how did he like Demon Knight?
He loved it.
Huh.
Yeah,
see how I tried to get Billy Zane to respond to your tweet, Candice? It didn't work, but it
You tried. I appreciated it.
That's Tim out there just throwing them up from half court, hoping one gets in, man.
He's not making any movies. Billy Zane should respond there.
Seriously, come on.
What the hell is
Billy Zane, get in touch.
He does have a good note on his bio for Twitter. It says, not good on boats.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, when Billy Zane came on the screen, my son was like, he looks like Dada, because he's like bald, you know? Oh. And I was like, I wished your father looked like Billy Zane.
Oh, damn.
It's like that kid's birthday coming up or something, and Dad was in the room trying to angle.
What a little ass kisser, right?
I guess, yeah. Fucking shit. Oh, man. Yeah, look, man, I shaved my head. I don't have any delusions, okay? None of us are Billy Zane.
You need those eyebrows.
Yeah, that's true, Tim. Hey, Tim, speaking of eyebrows, buddy, what have you been consuming?
Not too much this week. I've been mostly playing MLB The Show when I had any free time. Just came out last week.
Okay, and how's that?
It's good. It's one of those games where it's pretty much either grind it or pay to win if you're going to play online. Within the first day, like everybody on the fucking line had a 99 down team.
Jesus. Yeah, it's one of those EA ones, right?
No, it isn't. It's made by, I think, San Diego Studios.
Huh.
And it's Sony. So when I pop it into my Xbox, it comes up Sony. They lost something with the licensing that to keep making the game, they had to put it on multi-platform. So it's the best baseball game. It's actually probably, I think, the only baseball game out there that you can find.
I think it's the only baseball game I ever tried to play with friends was MLB The Show.
It's a good one, Candice. Download it. It's on Game Pass.
So it's like up there with Wii Sports baseball, like about that good?
Yeah.
RBI baseball. How about that?
The last time I cared really about a baseball video game was Baseball Stars on NES.
Oh.
Remember that one, Tim?
Yes, I remember that. That was one of those Neo Geo games, right?
Yeah, it was.
It was one of the first games that kept stats when you turned off your system.
That's right. Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was a fun one. So I guess I'll kick it over to you then, Johnny. Is there anything you've been consuming just in general? It doesn't have to be last week because, hell, you haven't been here before.
It's the last time I've been here.
That you want to go ahead and kick on over to the listeners?
Well, I think to begin, I would say recently I rewatched a movie I hadn't seen in many years called Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Ooh.
And it is fucking awesome. I mean,
isn't it?
I just love every bit about that movie. It's such an amazing performance from what's his name, Rooker.
Yeah, Michael Rooker.
Just stunning. Like, he's so subtle and understated. Very delicate acting in that, and which makes his actions all the more grievous at the end, and enduring throughout. So it's a fantastic movie, and the director went on to direct much less subtle performances in Wild Things, which is, always blows me away. He directed both of those movies. It's nuts.
That's
very different.
Opposite, yeah.
So that's great. I love that. I haven't seen it in about 10 years. And then, I love Cronenberg. He's probably my favorite director.
Yeah,
and I love,
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I love slasher movies and I love body horror, probably. But I rewatched Eastern Promises.
Ooh.
So good.
Which is not really a body horror movie, but it's just such a fucking good movie. Everything about it is great. And Viggo, in my opinion, is the best performance of his career. And it's like Academy Award worthy. His performance, you believe that he is a Russian person, a Russian mob guy in that movie. Yeah. And it's just stunning. I love it. I love Naomi Watts in that movie. She's fantastic as well.
Love how cold that movie feels.
It is awesome, because it's Cronenberg, right? Like, that's his style. He really delivers on that. And, that's probably his last great movie, maybe.
Whoa.
I don't know what came after that. I might have the years mixed up. History of Violence is around there, too.
Yeah, you got History of Violence. You got, recently, Crimes of the Future, which was good.
I haven't seen that. Yeah.
It's good. I don't know if I'd put it up there with Eastern Promises.
No, that's fair.
But it's very good.
History of Violence is good until you get to John Hurt showing. Not John Hurt.
John Hurt.
Ed Harris.
No,
Ed Harris.
His brother with the fucking stupid voice like this. Hey, Johnny, what are you doing?
Oh, I don't know.
It just sounds like you tried to do an impression of yourself, Tim.
I just turned up the Yobo. That's all I did.
The knob goes up to 11.
I don't do impressions. I don't do voices. I don't know why fucking Mike from the Grind Man keeps trying to get me to do a fucking voice or impression.
It's because you're so bad at it. He wants to make fun of you.
Because it sounds very
funny.
What
it is?
Oh. Yes.
He's trying to encourage my autistic growth.
I believe that is it. Yeah, Tim.
Oh, speaking of directors, so me and my husband watched Snatch last night, and we were just talking about we were just talking about Guy Ritchie films. We're going through his catalog. Did not realize that I forgot that he directed Man from U.N.C.L.E. Did you guys ever see that?
Ooh,
no.
Yeah.
I love that fucking movie.
But I know that movie, and I had no interest in seeing it.
What? How dare you? I love that movie, and I was like, I completely forgot.
No, Candice, that was during his slump, and it's a fucking remake of a TV show called A Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I know it is. It's still a good movie.
No. How are you going to get pit bulls and dogs and shotguns involved in this movie? I don't understand. Not for me.
They are. Yeah, both those things are in this movie. No, I'm kidding. There are shotguns, but I don't think there's any dogs.
No, I think Snatch is my favorite Guy Ritchie movie.
I would say it's his best, but I think The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is an underrated film.
Well, I have to ask, have you guys seen the King Arthur movie he did?
Oh, that piece of shit that I couldn't even finish watching.
Oh, man.
No, I had that Charlie something or another. The Australian guy.
Charlie
the guy
Hunnam.
from
Charlie Hunnam, that's right. Yeah.
No, thank you. No.
Had Eric Bana in it.
Eric Bana.
Yeah.
Was he in it?
Yes.
Oh, God. I made it like 15 minutes into that movie, and I turned it off. I was like, oh, this is so bad.
I covered it on Everything I Learned from Movies. It's a fucking piece of shit. I had fun covering it, though. It's a good one to talk shit about.
Some movies are good to talk about, not to watch.
Exactly.
Like this one. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's going to have to choke you already. So I've just been playing Loop Hero on Switch.
Oh, great game.
Fantastic game. It's way too complicated to even try to explain.
Yeah, you have to play it.
Yeah.
You cannot explain that game just through words.
No.
But it's very good.
Very fun, yeah. It's a perfect pick up and set down game too, for sure.
It is.
Yeah, so that's about it. So Friday the 13th, here we are at the what would we call it? Fake-pril.
Fake-pril.
Yeah, I think that's what we said.
Our fantastic wordplay. Another one of the things everybody loves about the show.
Yeah.
No, so Candice, you floated this one, and I gotta say I love the concept behind it, which is Friday the 13th is technically, Halloween made a shitload of money. Me too.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But it's a good lesson, and just because something's a ripoff doesn't mean it's not good.
Well, I don't even know how much of a ripoff it is.
But he literally, Sean S. Cunningham, in multiple interviews, you found the quote where he said, I went to screenings of Halloween and I just took notes about what I wanted in my movie. He literally said that in multiple interviews.
Scary shit, music.
Yeah.
Point of view, killer point of view.
There's a few differences we'll cover. Obviously, like they amp the gore up in this compared to Halloween a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, they had a special talent behind the scenes.
They had a very special
doing
talent,
the gore.
But we'll get
that's
to
right.
that.
I forgot that when I saw his name, I was like, holy shit, that's right. He did this.
Mm-hmm. But first, let's start with you, Jonny. What's your history with Friday the 13th?
Well, I have a very long history with the movie. And first of all, I should say that I have a personal connection with the movie, or with the franchise, or the property. My first cousin dated the female lead in the Friday the 13th television series. Her name was
what?
Louise
what?
Roby. You're familiar with her.
Hold on. What?
Yeah. And she went by Roby at that time only, like a one-name thing.
Yes, I remember very well, yes.
I knew her well. I was close with my cousin. She came to a couple of family dinners, like at my parents' house. She was really shy and quiet and a bit standoffish, but just strikingly beautiful. Like in person, I mean. Like
hell fucking yeah.
She was really, really attractive. So, Tim, you're a fan, right?
Yeah, you could say, I watched every single episode of that not great TV show just because maybe this is one of the ones she's going to be really in a lot.
Yeah, and she never gets naked. So.
Yeah, I know.
It was made for TV and not cable.
Yeah, but it was Friday the 13th, so, if you don't see Jason, you got to see some tits or something.
Yeah,
Titty Jason.
It had a lot of good episodes, but overall, I mean, it had nothing at all to do with the movies at all. Like, I tried to discuss the movies with her, and she had no fucking idea what I was talking about. She didn't see any of the movies. She didn't need to see any of the movies. Anyway, so that's kind of a fun thing. That was in the late 80s.
That's very fun. Man, we're just nailing it with these guests.
Indeed.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I have more of a story to, I guess, as a kid. I'll just start with some history on it.
I want to hear more Roby stories. What
That's all. I mean, I met her a couple times for like 2 hours at a time. She didn't talk much, and she just sits around. And
Tim's too shy to ask. What did she smell like?
Heaven.
Whatever we were eating for dinner, but I mean, she was European. Like, she was raised in Europe. And she was a model for Vogue.
Yes, she was. She was at one point. She was the highest paid model in the world. I think, getting $1 million a shoot.
Yeah, I don't know, but she didn't really do much in terms of acting at all before or after this series,
or during.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a low-budget Canadian production. And I'm Canadian, by the way, guys. I don't know if I said that yet.
Gross.
Ah, shit. Well, we got to go.
I think we're having technical errors.
We should ask what's going on about you.
No, we had a Uwe Boll as a guest, and he lived in Canada for a little while.
Wow. Okay.
So, rarefied air.
Technically.
Fame for Canada. Uwe Boll lived there.
So my history on the movie, seriously though, as a kid I was watching, the regular cartoons. As a young kid in the 70s. Now, I'm old. I'm older than two of you, at least. I don't know for sure.
If you were in a kid in the 70s, you're definitely older.
I wonder who's the third
one. I don't know. So in the 70s, I loved Super Friends and the Spider-Man show.
Yeah.
The old school one from the early 70s with that great song. Incredible Hulk, that kind of stuff. But then I was 10 or so, and then on October 30th, 1981, I'll give you a specific day, NBC Friday Night at the Movies aired the world broadcast premiere of John Carpenter's Halloween. Ooh. And I watched it, and I just soaked it up. I was 10 years old. It was by then a huge hit. And
because the movie had already been out for 3 years.
Yeah. It came out in late 78.
Yeah.
But the TV cut also famously had 12 extra minutes, very well-known cut. Carpenter had shot this extra footage on the Halloween 2 set, specifically for this NBC broadcast. So NBC promoted the shit out of this movie all week. So they all had ads on all the big primetime shows all week. And the kids in the playground were talking about it because they'd see the commercials and they're like, yeah, I can't believe we're finally get to see this movie. It was a phenomenon by then. Kids were aware of it. So it changed the ball game for me. I pivoted at that point from like cartoons and Dukes of Hazzard, and it's 1981. There's a burgeoning horror scene list of movies that come out. And I started reading Fangoria around 81, 82 as well. And that just changed me. I mean, I couldn't look back at that point. So Friday the 13th came naturally about a year later on video. In Canada, you can't go to these movies if you're under like 17. It's not possible. They're very strict about it.
Yeah. Well, your parents or somebody over 17 can bring in, right?
No, not in Canada. It's like it's different. Yeah, you can't even go in with an adult.
Maybe that's why your country's so nice.
Could be, yeah. But I mean, my parents didn't give a
10 years old watching Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre
and Deep Throat.
No, that was my aunt and my grandmother.
Beyond the Green Door.
So that's my sort of intro to it. I mean, a lot of things converged at that point in that time frame. In the 81, 82, we got a VCR, video.
Boom time,
yeah. Video stores started popping up. 11, 12-year-old Jonny goes out to the video store with his Velcro wallet and his members-only jacket. Pick up 3 or 4 movies every single week, and it's like, because that's the only way we could see these movies. ABC was not airing, The Prowler, or Maniac. So I had to rent these videos, and I got lucky and found a store that didn't give a shit about that I was a young kid.
Oh, those are key.
Yeah. Oh, those are the best ones. Those mom and pop ones where it's like, I don't care. Yeah. That's 75 cents in our pocket. Fuck it. Just Deep Throat, kid. Go home. No, you said something, John. I haven't thought about it for a while, but just so I can sound really old, you young kids don't fucking understand how easy you got it today. Halloween comes out in 1978. There's no VHS stores around.
No.
And it's 3 fucking years later before it shows up on fucking TV. And it's what? If you missed it, you had to wait another 2 years maybe before you're going to see it again on fucking TV.
Yeah.
Now Shazam is out 3 weeks before it goes into the theaters. It's already out on video on demand.
What was that?
Shazam.
Really?
Shazam. It just came out. I think it's only been out for 3 weeks, and it's now out on video on demand already.
Yeah, Tim's been waiting for it.
No, it's another bad one.
Is that the one with that the one with Sinbad and he's like a genie?
Yeah, where he it's where Sinbad plays Shaq's life story.
Oh, okay.
There's a real crossover for everybody. That's going to blow everybody's mind.
I thought it was the same actor.
So, I mean, it was such a crazy time in the early 80s because so much was happening and so much was changing. And there were new technology really coming out and making a difference. So, I watched Friday the 13th 1 and 2 on video the same day in 1982.
Were you confused?
I was like, wait a minute. So I'm glad
I thought he was a little boy.
Yeah, I mean,
it's 5 years later, though, so he grew up. Oh, wait a second.
He grew a lot, and he also learned how to breathe underwater for a while.
Well,
amphibious.
Nobody ever said that the writing was particularly good for the Friday the 13th series.
Yeah, if anyone needs a retcon, Jason needs a retcon for how he came about, because
I
think that scene was just tapped on at the end there. I don't think they thought that they were going to have a big hit as they did, and they were going to make part 2, part 3, part 12.
No, there was zero planning to do the next one.
No, there was zero planning for this one.
Well, wait a second. No, when this one came out, weren't they already working on Halloween 2?
Yeah, that's a good point. And speaking of stealing shit from Halloween, I would suggest that Halloween 2 stole as much or more from Friday the 13th.
You're right. You're right, Johnny. Yeah, it was a circle jerk rip-off.
Ripped off Friday the 13th. And that's just the way it is. You know?
Yeah.
Point of View was ripped off from one movie to another. Halloween ripped off Black Christmas. Black Christmas ripped off Peeping Tom. Whatever, you know.
Halloween 2, the music goes, Michael.
Yeah, the sort of lineage from the Psycho to Giallo to Black Christmas to Halloween, then to your slashers. You see a lot of one influencing the next.
Yeah, because Friday the 13th Part 2 rips off Bay of Blood.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's how I think it works with anything that's new, right? When rock and roll started, it was ripping off the blues, right? And
that's true. Yeah.
You built up on it, and you ended up with what we got tonight, which is shit music now.
So what about you, Tim? What was your history with Friday the 13th?
I didn't see this one in the movie theaters. Surprise, surprise.
Okay.
I saw the second one in the movie theaters, and when I first heard this one, I remember being a little bit pissed off, this is just a fucking ripoff of Halloween. There's no way it can be as good.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, Halloween, the first one is probably the best horror movie, straight up horror movie ever made.
Well, it's up there.
Yeah.
So I think it's directed better than any other horror movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, John Carpenter, and just that music, and as far as I know, when I saw it when it came out, 70, so I was 10 years old when it came out.
Yeah.
I'd never seen a bad guy get up after he was killed the first time, the second time, and the third time. So that was blowing my fucking mind with that shit. Yeah. That was really freaky to me. But I remember always up until part 3. The 3 is when I really, really started all right, I can dig these movies. I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. What about you, Candice?
Oh, man. You've probably heard me talk about it before. That giant stack of VHS tapes that someone gifted me when I was but a wee child of 8 or 9 years old. And it was just stacks of horror movies that someone had taped off of HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, all those primetime cable network television that I didn't have. And so it was Friday the 13th Part 3, 5, just scattershot. There was no consistency to any of it. But almost all the Halloweens, almost all the Friday the 13th, all the Silent Night, Deadly Nights, all the Howling movies, Carrie, all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I had all of them, and I spent an entire summer watching all of them.
And how old were you, Candice?
I was 8 or 9 years old.
Damn. And see, you won't let your son watch any horror movies now.
But I do. Because I'm this is good for you. This is medicine.
Nightmare 1's really fucked up.
It's going to teach you for the real world, kid.
But, so I never had seen Friday the 13th Part 1 or 2. I'd seen all the rest of them multiple times, but I had no idea that Jason was not the killer in the first movie.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea about any of the Pamela Voorhees at all. Mm-hmm. And so I was at the video store and I was like, I never have seen this. So I rented Friday the 13th Part 1. And the whole time I'm where's Jason? So I was trying to figure out who the killer was, because there's clearly no Jason. So I thought it was a man the entire time, because they used Tom Savini's hands and stuff in a lot of the scenes with Pamela killing someone. So I thought it was a man.
Hey,
until the end of the movie.
Yeah, for all of you who haven't seen this movie.
Yeah, for all you guys listening to a horror podcast in 2023 who haven't seen Friday the 13th.
No. Candice's son could be sneaking listeking to the podcast because this is when his mom is on. He's like, if I can't see the tits, I'll hear them talk about the tits.
Oh, yeah, that's what Candice's son wants, is to hear his mother talk about tits.
I hope not. Good God.
So glad I didn't have sons.
So yeah, that was my history. It just blew my mind that Jason is not the killer.
And you hadn't seen Scream too, so there you go. That's where everybody else learned about that fact.
That's true. It was before Scream.
It is a gutsy call, right?
Yeah. So I grew up in a completely I don't know, just unsupervised way.
Yeah, same.
Same. Yep.
Yeah, at about.
That's why we're all on this podcast, right?
That's why I watched all those movies. Literally, my son was like, he was like, "How old were you when you saw Demon Knight?" And I was like, "I was actually 11. I was your age." And he goes, "Your parents didn't mind?" I was like, "No,
no. Back then, parents didn't care about children, son. Let me tell you, it's a wonder I'm here.
Oh, yeah. I used to be out until like 10 o'clock every night with all my friends.
No one gave a shit.
Yep. So the first one I saw was actually Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives.
Okay, that's a good one.
Oh, you know what? That's the best one.
What's the thing that one's known for? Because you got the one, you got one with Corey Feldman, you got the psychic bitch.
Lightning.
Where they go back. Oh, the one with Horseshack.
Yeah, Horseshack.
Yeah, okay.
Where he kills Horseshack, exactly.
That for me, that was the biggest shock in all these movies, seeing fucking Horseshack show up.
Yeah.
Well, Eddie, you and my son have something in common now because that's the first Friday the 13th movie he's ever seen.
So the difference is
Part 6.
The difference is I was probably 5 when I saw it.
Okay.
So probably not good. And I just remember, I locked in on it, and I'm like, oh, my God, this is the best fucking thing ever. There's tits everywhere. There's blood everywhere. This guy got fucking brought back with lightning. I mean, come on. There's a smiley face with blood on the tree. It's hilarious, right? Fucking fantastic. So,
and Horseshack.
So you had no idea that Friday the 13th was supposed to be scary.
Right, yeah. So then... like I think I told before, my father had an illegal cable box that had descrambled HBO, Showtime, all that shit. So he had just started recording whatever movies. He'd buy the TV guide, and if he didn't have the movie, he would just record it. And we had this huge catalog of old shit.
Those were the tapes I got.
There you go, yeah.
Okay.
So I dug
connection, yeah.
I dug through them and started finding the Friday the 13th, and then that led to the Nightmare on Elm Street and yada yada. So
he actually wrote down on the tapes what movies are on. Wow, hats off, yeah.
Yeah. No, he had them well cataloged, but there was no curation per tape. So it'd be for a few dollars more, and then Friday the 13th, Part 4, and you're like...
Yeah, it was when it was on TV when you hit record for the next 8 hours.
Right, yeah. I'm like, that's a hell of a double feature. I don't know
now
what the
tapes like that are fucking worth their weight in gold. You put that shit on the YouTube channel, you got 100,000 fucking subscribers.
Yeah, that's why I sometimes I'll hit up thrift stores and just look at their VHS to see if I can find any...
I tell my wife, never throw anything away because you never fucking know.
But here's the problem, though, Tim, is you're playing Russian roulette when you start buying unlabeled VHS tapes and popping them in.
Oh, that's very true.
You might be able to solve a crime or two, get a podcast going.
I'm going to end up on SVU, and Tim's going to be talking about it with Mike on the grind bin.
No, I was just my SUV, right? Which I think should become part
SUV.
Of the show. Just let me SUV.
Tim's favorite show. SUV.
All right, come on, dyslexic sometimes.
It's all right.
I just want to say there was an episode that I was watching yesterday that had Jerry Lewis on it.
Jerry Lewis or Lee Lewis?
Him. They assumed that he was a child murderer and rapist. And it turns out he wasn't. He's just another cop's uncle who came to visit him, got off his meds for some reason, went crazy for 3 months. And then once he's on his medication, he's all fine. But then he finds out that the real person who raped and murdered the kids is somebody that the police are following, and he ends up killing them.
How funny would it be if the real killer was Jerry Lee Lewis?
That would have been
That would have been a good...
Or Dean Martin.
We're just 1 year away, 2 years away from the day the clown cried came out. So.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so close. I can't wait to see it.
Oh, is that the one where he's a clown entertaining in Auschwitz?
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy fuck! Is that movie? What's happening with that movie?
I think he had to wait like 10 years after he died for it to be released.
Yeah, it was like a stipulation.
Yeah, there's a time. I hear there's a timer on his gravestone with the ticking down.
Oh man!
Hey Hitler! See, I don't do voices. I don't know why.
It was pretty good.
Right.
That was pretty good.
Oh wow! Yeah, I get dorky fucking Jerry Lewis impersonations down. Thanks.
Wait, that was Jerry Lewis? I thought you were doing Adolf Hitler.
Why would he call himself out?
I guess you were doing Lewis doing Hitler. So
Mengele, maybe.
Just getting baroque as hell over here.
You mingle at it.
So here we go. Halloween just hit. Sean Cunningham came up with a movie title idea, Friday the 13th. But he wasn't sure if there was a trademark for that title, Friday the 13th. So you know what he did? He took out a full-page ad in Variety that was just a picture of Friday the 13th smashing through some glass with the promise of the most terrifying film ever made. And at the bottom of it,
called him and said, "Hey, I already own that."
Right, that was the plan. He Tim Yobo'd his way into making sure he could use the title.
Hey, mine is published first, motherfuckers. It's Variety, yeah.
If nobody says I can't fucking do it, then I can. So nobody sends him the legal papers, because he put his contact info at the bottom of it. But Paramount reached out to him. They said, "Hey, it's 1979. Cocaine is flowing like wine, and we saw your ad. Let's make a movie." And he says, "Great." Hangs up. Fuck. I don't have a script. All I have is a title.
Wow, just a minute. They didn't even ask, like, what is the basic premise of this movie? Just based on
I think he floated that they were going to try to do something like Halloween meets Meatballs.
Oh, well, that's all I need to hear. Go.
Yeah. Which, Meatballs was also a big hit at the time.
I remember seeing Meatballs in the movie theaters also.
So
by the way, which set, Halloween or Friday the 13th, which set do you feel had more coke on it? Because both were just
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because they're a bunch of theater kids, too. So we all know how they like to do that coke.
Yeah,
it's true. Yep. So, they drafted up a bunch of theater kids, started working on the script, and decided, why don't we just add in a bunch of tits and some more gore? And they said, well, who do we know that can do gore effects real well?
For cheap.
For cheap, yeah. might be dealing with a little PTSD, but hey, who isn't?
That's how you get them cheap.
That's how you get them cheap. So they dialed up none other than Tom Savini, because they had just seen his work with Romero and thought that's our guy. That's who we're going with.
He'll work for cheap. He's working with George Romero.
I mean, he'll work for coke.
Because I'm assuming we're talking about Dawn of the Dead, right?
Yeah.
So this had to be a cakewalk for him after doing Dawn of the Dead and what you see in this,
true.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's really fun. Oh, before anybody listens, they should watch the Crystal Lake Memories. That 10-hour documentary on all of the Friday the 13th movies. And the section with Tom Savini talking about the special effects he did for 1 and 2 is just amazing.
So, fun fact about 2, they dialed the gore back quite a bit in 2. And supposedly that's because the MPAA kind of threw a shit fit at them.
Well, yeah, because
they
now
were a target.
Think about it, because at this time, Friday the 13th Part 2, what year is it that it comes out?
81.
Yep.
Okay.
Literally
how many
the next
fucking
year.
horror rip-offs of Halloween and now Friday the 13th have there been? So you're going to pick the one that's got the most recognition and go after it, right?
Yeah, they picked on purpose.
Yeah, Siskel and Ebert went after it too pretty hard.
Oh, yeah. No, Ebert.
To the point
and Betsy
of...
Palmer did they go after?
Yeah.
He's a fucking actress.
Yeah, weird to go after Betsy Palmer. I mean, I get she acted in it, but she also said that when she read the script for it, she said it was shit and threw it.
Yeah.
So it's not like she's a big fan. She's just in the movie.
They tried to originally get Estelle Parsons, but she turned it down.
Really?
Oh, Stella Parsons. She's what was she in?
I think she was. Her big thing was she was the other woman in Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh yeah, the wife of Gene Hackman,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. She's good in that too. But
Okay.
Betsy Russell was awesome, so I'm glad they grabbed her.
Oh, she's great.
She's so good. When
I worked at a pet food store, she was a customer of mine, and she was like one of the sweetest, fucking nicest ladies ever.
Yeah, I bet.
So they gave him a budget of $550,000. It was filmed in 28 days and went on to make $39 million in the box office domestic.
That'll fucking kickstart a whole fucking bunch of knockoffs, right?
Cha-cha-cha, ching-ching-ching-ching.
And it would go on to launch 1 million clones of this movie.
Oh my God, yes.
Some might even say an entire genre of movie.
Yeah. All named you had to find a holiday to have a horror movie after this.
And this is where we get into the fact that Friday the 13th is itself a ripoff of Halloween.
Yeah.
And the multiple sources confirm this.
Yes.
Including Sean S. Cunningham many times in many an interview.
Yeah, yeah. Cunningham literally admitted that he just went and saw Halloween and took notes of what he wanted to do from literally in the theater, like with a notepad, like a creep. So they're doing hand checks, but it's for him checking on the fucking...
You know, I heard his cousin saw the movie, and his cousin called him and he goes, "Hey, Sean, you know that new movie you're looking for?"
But that was while they were he was watching Teen Wolf in the future, right? It's not this. It's fucking not this movie. Nope, not at all.
I mean, again, look, when Halloween came out, there weren't any other movies like that, and horror pretty much died down.
Yeah, I mean,
not died down, but I mean, it wasn't anything that was big or anything like that. So once that movie just hit and just made all that money and captured fucking lightning in a bottle, of course you're going to have 1 million other fucking people trying to do the same exact thing to varying degrees.
Yeah, but those people weren't Friday the 13th and then spawned their own ripoffs and rip-off of ripoffs.
Well, I think if you're going to be the first, second, or third of anything, that's what's going to happen. People are going to start ripping you off and adding to it and stuff like that. But there's only one movie, only one series that's still around. That's pound for pound the best one out of all the horror series. And it's Friday the 13th.
It's certainly not Halloween.
Nope, and not even Nightmare on Elm Street. Sorry, Bobby. Pound for pound, Friday the 13th's got better movies.
I don't know about that.
The first 6 Friday movies are amazing.
Fantastic.
And then it really drops quickly.
No. Okay, no.
Compared to any of the Halloween movies, except for Halloween 1 and possibly Halloween 2. And, all right, Halloween 3, but people came around to it. But that's not part of any of the rest of the Halloween movies. Yeah. You got 2 good movies out of the entire Halloween sequels.
I agree completely. 4 till the end, I've only seen once each movie. So that says a lot.
Nightmare on Elm Street, you got the first one, second one, third, and then what's the fourth one? Dream Masters or Dream Child?
No.
I'm
going to argue.
I like Nightmare better than Halloween as a franchise. So I would put Halloween.
Oh yeah, I would put the Nightmare. Yeah, the Nightmare series overall is better than the Halloween series overall. But overall, Friday the 13th has the better ones and the best TV series ever.
I don't know. The Nightmare TV series was pretty good. All right, Candice, you seem to bristle at the notion that Friday the 13th is the heavyweight champion.
Well, I bristle at the notion that the first 5 movies were all great.
6.
First 6 movies were all great. Now, I think, and I hold by this, that the 4th one is the only legitimately great one. The rest of them, we look at with nostalgia-tinged goggles. You look back at them with clear, sober eyes, and they're not great. They're not. Some of them aren't even good.
Oh, wow.
But they're
How about doing that with any of these movies, Candice? Looking back at them with sober, clear eyes after 30 years of watching them for the
first time. I don't want to look at my own life with sober eyes, let alone a fucking movie.
It just, when the remake came out and people were shitting on it, they're like, it's not like the originals. It's like, you need to look back at those originals again, because they weren't as perfect as you fucking think they are.
You know what? I didn't hate the remake of Friday the 13th. I thought it was okay, and I mean, I like the one part that I like the best is how they explained how he fucking popped up all over the place.
Yeah.
That after all this time, he built all his tunnels like a fucking Vietnam tunnel rat or something.
Yeah.
But you got to protect your pot some way.
Yeah.
Yep, I say that this movie is pretty fucking boring.
You know what? I will say yes, it is boring because I texted both of you in the Discord. I was like, "How boring is this movie?" Very. But it's also because we have seen it. How many times have we seen it by now? And it is a different style.
I think the second one is way better than the first one.
That's fair.
Way better.
The second one is a really good movie.
Second one's great. Yeah.
I'm
with you on 4 might be the best.
Like 5, I have a lot of nostalgia for 5. It's probably my second favorite one. But it's not a good movie.
Which one has the Carrie bitch in it?
Oh, that's 7.
That's Jason versus Tina.
That's one of my favorite ones. Oh, man. When he gets knocked down by a light bulb, come on.
Tim, I figured your favorite would be Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oof. Ooh, man.
It's got Tia Carrera.
Yeah.
Really?
It's also got Jason apparently traveling underwater.
I'll tell you this right off the bat, because I completely forgot that until you said that Tia Carrera. I'm assuming she doesn't show her breasts, because otherwise I would go, there's only one good thing about Jason Takes Manhattan.
No, it is funny when he punches the boxer's head off, but I love the fact that Jason can swim in that one when that was ultimately his undoing at the beginning of the series.
Oh, and in Freddy versus Jason, right? That's his weakness, the water.
Yep. Always was. What took him out as a child, but, maybe. I don't know. No, but his origin, who knows?
Yeah, she is kind of an unreliable narrator, right?
Yeah.
Do you really believe everything she says?
Yeah, I don't know. She's a little kooky, that's
Maybe
for sure.
she was fucking one of the camp counselors and her son drowned.
Oh.
We were making love.
I thought it was Barry and Claudette that were the 2 counselors from the previous year, the first kill of the movie. They were the ones responsible for Jason's death. Or so I thought. Was that ever explained?
No, they never explained that. I assume that's just when she snapped. I don't know if they had anything to do with it.
Oh, no, I think she found the first couple that were fucking, and that was it.
Yeah, and then it's like, you guys were supposed to be watching him, and then,
that's possible.
Also,
that's what you get for sending your son to a Christian camp.
Yeah, true.
The second worst thing happened to him.
Yeah, the second worst possible thing. Oh, God. So, we also never really cover his dad.
Yeah. Maybe Pamela, she was a woman of loose morals.
Elias
she was
Voorhees
young.
Johnny, you pulled it out there. Yeah, Elias Voorhees.
Yeah, I am a super fan.
Yeah.
Elias Voorhees was going to be written into some future of the Friday movies, I think, but they abandoned.
Wow, now that would have been something, right?
Yeah, that would have been cool. It would have been a nice sort of detour on the movie.
Ooh, that should have been the killer in the 5th one.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
You killed my son 3 times.
Yeah.
You keep killing my fucking son.
Or he goes after Tommy Jarvis.
Well,
not Tommy. Wait.
That's
Tommy Jarvis.
Tommy Jarvis. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Goes after Corey Feldman.
Kicking in. Okay.
This is why I say 4 might have been the best one, because the ending with him and Tommy Jarvis is just like perfect, right?
Yeah, 4 is literally the best Friday 13th movie. I'll fight someone over that.
I remember seeing 4 in the movie theater with my sister. We went to Times Square to see it. Mm-hmm. Okay? And I remember putting my arm around my sister and her jerking away real quickly and me screaming, "You're the worst fucking date I ever had. Why did I buy a movie ticket for you?"
Damn.
It's fun to embarrass your sister.
4 is not one that I grew up watching. I didn't watch it until I was in my 30s.
Wow.
And
wow.
So he was already.
I didn't know that Friday the 13th movies could actually be good until I watched the 4th one. I was like,
By that time, you already knew about Corey Haim. You kind of ruined it.
Corey Feldman.
Oh, Feldman. Yeah.
They're not good. They're fun.
They are fun, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying they're complete shit. And don't watch them. Of course, watch them. They're fun.
I can tell you why the first one's fun. A lot of it has to do with the writing. It was written by Victor Miller and Ron Kurz. who Grind Bin fans might remember.
You said that name.
Yeah. Grind Bin fans might remember him as the writer of King Frat.
Oh.
So that's why Jason was farting all over the place when he was a kid. That's why you see those little bubbles all the way at the end of the movie when they just show the lake. Oh, shit.
I thought that was good. Starring Adriana King as Alice, our final girl. Kevin Bacon in his first role as Jack.
Yeah, as our final real actor who's still
never let him forget ever where his roots are.
Never. And Betsy Palmer, who played Mrs. Voorhees. Fantastic performance.
Oh, yeah.
Holy fucking shit. I just realized it right now. When I worked at that pet food store, they were both my customers at one point.
Betsy Palmer and Kevin Bacon?
Yeah. Betsy Palmer and Kevin Bacon, yeah.
Yeah, you could have been like, hey, Kevin, I met one of your co-hosts.
No, I would tell you, he is a very shy person. He's not one of these people who like, hey, I'm Kevin Bacon, shit like that. Because at that store, I had a lot of famous rich people coming in. And I will say one person, I don't want to say her name, Rosie O'Donnell, who just literally walked in on like a Friday afternoon when the store was packed and just elbowed her way to the front of the line because I'm Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, no.
And Kevin Bacon, the exact opposite. And his wife, Kira Sedgwick, beautiful woman.
Did you try to talk to Kevin Bacon about the Friday the 13th TV series?
No. One thing that I was always very proud of myself is that when I had to deal with anybody famous that came into that store, I never said anything like that because look, you're coming in, you're buying fucking pet food. You don't want to hear like, hey, that fucking movie Stir of Echoes is really a fucking asshole movie. What the fuck was that?
I like that movie.
I know, it was a good movie.
Tim, what are you doing?
I think he was my customer for like 4 years before I said how much I thought he was he did a great job in that movie, The Woodsman, where he plays like a fucking child molester. So
yeah.
Oh, great compliment.
I used up 5 years of not saying anything with like, hey, you really played a child molester murderer. Perfect.
Yeah, I believed it.
Just keep bringing up movies he was a child molester in.
Like in Sleepers.
No, I love you
Sleepers.
Sleepers.
Love you in Sleepers, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin. I know it wasn't children, but in Hollow Man, you were pretty good, man.
Yeah. It's a raw performance.
There's a couple of particular scenes of yours were very good. I've watched them a few times. So
that's about it. VHS tracking.
That's about it for the actual star power in this movie.
Nobody else really came out of this movie. Because when I was watching the movie, I was watching with the commentary on it.
No, Crazy Ralph is huge on Twitter.
Well, yeah.
I want to follow him.
Yeah, he's at Yobo Gold on Twitter.
No, at Crazy Ralph 1981. Follow that dude. Very funny.
Oh, yeah.
And he plays along, too. If you, comment on something, and he'll play along in the whole character as Crazy Ralph.
Yeah. He was fun. What was that? Walt Gorney. That's the name of the actor who played Crazy Ralph. Stole every scene he was in, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still curious how he got in the pantry, but anyhow.
And how long he was standing there.
Exactly. Thank you, Tim.
I think that somebody's going to find a fucking dump that he took in the corner.
Oh, God.
Can I say something
else? It's got a death curse.
You know that Ralph also rides a bicycle, famously.
Mm-hmm.
So you realize that the camp is 20 miles from that restaurant at the beginning.
Mm.
So he's pedaling 40 miles to go out to
teenagers.
Think about that. In this little old broken down woman's bicycle that he rides with very great posture. It just seems a long trip to make.
It really does. Yeah. Now that you mention it,
you can't skinny dipping out there. So you got to go out there and tell them that Jesus Lord doesn't want them to do that. After you watch them for 20 minutes just to make sure that that's what they're doing.
You got to make sure they don't take it any further.
Tim, this sounds like experience.
See, there's a reason why I called him out as Tim at the beginning of the episode, Candice.
Oh, wait.
So we begin at Camp Crystal Lake in the summer of 1953. A young Tim Yobo had went and bought one of those change makers from a catalog because he thought it was cool. And
those X-ray glasses.
I never got the X-ray glasses. I didn't buy the submarine or anything like that. But
what'd you get?
Sea monkey.
That was cool.
Sea monkeys, yeah.
Did you pay for it with all those uncashed 75-cent checks from the phone company?
Oh God.
Oh man. It's a good thing I never went to jail.
I forgot about that scam that you never cashed in.
I wonder if that can still work. You have to find an actual payphone that's still around, right?
I was going to say, are you saying I wonder if I could cash those checks? Because I would not put it past you to have the checks still.
You just told your wife never throw anything away.
I'm just wondering how I must have fucked up their accounting.
Oh, God.
We got like $8,000 worth of fucking unaccounted for funds. Where is this?
The paper of the checks is worth more than the actual amount of the check.
Tim got some old war vet fired for stealing $8,000 worth of fucking.
He was just, you know what? I'm sorry. It might be a fucked up thing, but I'm so proud of that. And then I figured that shit out.
Yeah, it's pretty good, Tim.
That's up there with the cargo cake scam. But
we start this one out with the cold open of the point of view of someone stalking through a cabin.
Man, sounds familiar, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah. I don't remember the Kumbaya moment from Halloween, but we have some camp counselors up there singing and playing a guitar, having a good time, and two of them sneak off.
Can you really have a good time with somebody playing a fucking guitar around a fire?
No.
They're playing
Unless you're
Everclear.
Christian in 1958.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Everclear, fuck you, Cam. You know what it is I've been listening to music more, right?
Gross, don't do that.
That's your problem, yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. And I go on Spotify, and I'll pick 2-3 songs, listen to them, and then it starts hey, you might like this, too.
Oh, Father of mine.
Whoever the fuck told them Everclear, I wish you could block an artist on there. You probably can.
I don't know. By this age, you should know who you like.
I mean, yeah, no shit. Fuck that. Anyhow, so two of them sneak off to have a nice, wholesome, good time fucking. They go into an abandoned cabin, sneak upstairs, and they're followed upstairs. Dude gets stabbed. Broad gets cornered. Freeze frame on her screaming face. Then we get the big title card. So there's
but no tits, right?
No,
not
this is 1958. He didn't.
Then.
First base is just touching her ear.
Halloween started with tits. Sister tits, too.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, not our sister's tit, his sister's tit, so.
Well, but it's from our point of view, Tim, so we can pretend.
That's
if
true.
you
I
want.
didn't think about that,
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I got confused for a minute. Cut to present day. We see Annie.
I love Annie
and she's
so
okay.
much.
She's all right, yeah.
Oh, and here comes our first. Oh, God.
Thanks, Candice, for having my back on that one. So she's backpacking, stops at a diner for some directions to Crystal Lake, and the locals are like, "What are you going to Blood Lake for? Or Camp Blood?"
And
Blood
that guy,
death?
the one who's supposed to be like the son, we've seen him a million times before in other movies, right?
Who, the guy with the mop?
Yeah, with the
That's
short
Erwin
hair and the
Keys.
stupid look on his face.
The busboy in the cafe is Erwin Keys, who famously played the limo driver in Death Wish 4, where Frank Boggs falls from a condo on top of his limo. Frank Boggs' limo driver. That's the mop guy from the cafe scene.
Oh, yeah, no, that guy definitely looks like he's mobbed up in every movie he's ever been in, yeah.
Yeah, he's been in some good 80s titles like Exterminator and Exterminator 2 he's in. But yeah, I love the cafe scene. It's just it's just like a record scratch when she asks about Camp Blood. Everyone just stares at her and stops doing and says, you know,
It's
they're staring because the nipples are showing.
Yeah.
well, that too, yeah.
And then that
the
great
girl.
song too, when she goes in there, that what the hell is that song called again? Fly Away, Tiny Sparrow. You hear that song 3 times in this movie. You'll know it.
Wow, you were a super fan. Okay.
Yeah, I can get into detail. I love that song very much. It's great. So where are we?
We're at the diner. She asks for the directions, and one of the locals offers to give her a ride out to Camp Blood.
Yeah, Enos.
Do they still name people Enos?
I hope
you
so.
You don't hear a lot of new babies being named Enos these days, or Roscoe.
Rhymes with penis. It's a tough one.
Or Bertha.
Not
No one's named Bertha anymore.
Yeah, or Crazy Ralph. You don't get a lot of that. You get Ralph, but not a lot of Crazy Ralph. So she goes to hop in, get the ride to the camp, but we're met by the Harbinger, Ralph. He gives her the don't go out to Crystal Lake. It's got a death curse. I'm not drunk and I won't bite you.
You're doomed.
Doomed.
Unless you go skinny dipping.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that can save your soul.
So you just end up with the don't fuck in the woods guy that's beaten off to him. That's the Ralph character.
That's the most realistic version of Ralph we've seen in any movie.
Yeah.
That's definitely what Ralph is doing, right?
Ralph becomes the OG, or like the blueprint for crazy old bastard.
For the Harbingers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, this movie becomes the blueprint, right? Like
totally.
Yep.
The whole movie is a blueprint in that regard. But I mean, the tropes that come out of this movie, one of them being the crazy old Harbinger. You see that in like My Bloody Valentine, that kind of thing. It's everywhere.
I mean, to the point where Cabin in the Woods specifically calls it out.
You needed one. Right? Yeah, you needed him in Cabin in the Woods. In fact, in Cabin in the Woods, he was a real crazy motherfucker who really believed the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they needed because he had to be there, yeah. He wasn't even acting.
He's
they make
part of
fun
the
of
sacred ritual.
While they leave him on speakerphone.
Am I on speakerphone?
It's so good.
So good.
Yeah. So, she gets dropped off over at the camp, right? And has to make her way down the. Now, they say later on in the movie that the nearest crossroad's 10 miles away. So she gets dropped off even at the nearest crossroad to it, because the guy doesn't drop her off at the camp. He just kind of drops her off in the middle of nowhere.
There's a lot of dropping off in this movie. Nobody wants to get close to this actual place.
Yeah.
You got to remember, 1979, hitchhiking was very prevalent still. And he clearly hitchhiked to that town, Blairstown, New Jersey.
Yeah, I know. I was like, does anybody in this movie have a fucking car?
No, she gets in the truck driver. You see the feel he copped on her, putting her in the truck?
Oh, yeah.
That's our old
she
school
doesn't have
move.
she doesn't have any gas or grass, so.
She might have had grass. It seems like everybody had fucking weed in this movie. Oh, man. So, it drops her off. And then we cut to meet the crew of teens that are hired to fix up the camp. And if you've watched this movie 6 or 7 times, let's say, in your life, and you still don't remember any of their names or who they are as a person,
nope,
not a problem, because it's never
last
really.
Night, and I think except for Annie is the only one that I can think of, and that's
you don't even know the final girl's name.
Help you with that.
Isn't that Annie?
No, that's Alice.
No, that's not Annie.
Alice.
Oh shit!
So we meet Jack and Marcy and Ned.
Yep.
Ned, yeah, he's the driver. He's the solo guy.
Yeah.
Wait, he's the guy who came out dressed like with the headdress on.
Oh yeah,
that's Neddy.
That classic move, man. That's always.
What's the name
fun.
of the guy with the glasses who runs the camp?
Steve Christie.
Wow, last names too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we picked the right one.
Yeah, I told you.
So they're all just having a little, good time setting up the camp. They're nailing the gutters back onto one of the buildings where Creepo with one of the creepiest mustaches, I have to say.
Oh, I said, is this the
and
picture?
The shorts.
The picture of everyone's dad from the 80s or early 80s, late 70s?
No, this is a picture of everybody's wink, wink uncle.
Oh, yeah.
On the 70s.
He's got a real 70s porno chic thing going on with that.
And my question is, motherfucker, I'm a camp counselor. What do you mean I got to do construction work?
Well, they're getting paid, I'm sure. You know.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they're getting paid to do construction. And are they certified to do that work? Do they have permits?
Yeah.
Do I want to go to the outhouse that fucking Alice built?
Good point, Tim. By the way, it's out in Jersey. What would the union think about them working?
Oh, that's where that guy shows up from the fucking the supermarket.
Yeah, no. So yeah, they're all fixing up the place, and I love the dickhead Ned that damn near kills the broad with the fucking arrow.
Oh yeah, and he's like, "It's just a joke."
Yeah, he basically is another trope that's continued throughout slasher movies. The single male jokester type that
the fucking
never
Shelley.
Yeah,
Friday 13th Part 3. God, I fucking hate Shelley. That's why I hate 3. It's because of Shelley. I just can't fucking stand him.
Shelley's kind of great, though. Think about it. He has his own merit. But I mean, this is Ned in this movie, and he's basically, you know, he's like the future incel if he doesn't get killed later that night. But I mean, he's just a pain in the ass.
He's the fat guy from Don't Fuck in the Woods. He's the pain in the ass sex pest who like practically murders her. The fucking.
Well, you see the bullshit fucking target she's putting out?
Oh yeah, it's a well-worn target, Tim. Oh man. So then we cut back to Annie thumbing a ride, and a Jeep pulls over and picks her up. Now, we never see who the driver is in the Jeep.
And Annie won't shut the fuck up, so you couldn't hear him talk.
Couldn't hear them talk. Candice.
Yeah, you're right. Annie doesn't fucking stop talking.
No, she
That's
does
probably
not.
why she gets killed. I mean, that's why she's like, okay, fuck this. I was finished killing. But you're annoying, so I'm just going to kill you. You talk to me.
Even I, as a broad, is pissed off about how much you're talking. Let me kill you.
I'm trying to talk to you about my son, and you won't shut the fuck up.
Maybe if somebody would listen to me talk about my son and my trauma, I wouldn't have to do this. No?
Look, I'm trying to hear the disembodied, ghostly voice of my rubberhead kid that drowned in the lake. And you're nagging.
Your little water baby.
Oh, literally.
My amphibious child.
What the fuck? That mask. Oh, anyhow.
Cephalic.
Yeah.
My hydrocephalic baby.
Wasn't that part filmed like almost like an afterthought? Like they didn't originally plan to do it? Because I remember when I was watching it,
because they saw Carrie and said, well, we need to have a thing like that at the end of our movie. One last scare.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong that maybe, Johnny, you know this, I think that was like the last shot that they got?
It was a last-minute thing. It was a last-minute decision to do it, and it was Tom Savini's idea. And I think it is specifically what made this movie what it was, because the 1-2 punch of the beheading, spoiler alert, and the jump scare in the lake, the 1-2 punch when you leave the theater, you know, with that in your mind, people fucking flipped out.
That he's still out there.
Wait a second. What year did Mother's Day come out? Because Mother's Day does the same thing.
81.
Yeah, 80.
81. So Mother's Day ripped off this one?
I mean...
wait, no.
The twist, I mean, like, what do you call it? Nightmare on Elm Street had the same thing with the car looking like Freddy and the pole in the window. Because this is something where,
because I think the difference between this and Mother's Day is you have a whole movie where it's this cast of people that you're seeing doing shit. And then just out of nowhere, at the end, somebody new completely pops up. Because in that one you had, what the fuck was that?
Queenie.
Oh, Queenie. Oh, yes, her sister, yeah.
That's a fucking great jump scare ending.
Yeah, that's when I think we did that grinding with Mike's Uncle Carl.
Man, I guess it's been too long since I've seen Mother's Day. I don't remember that at all.
Just thinking that, Candice. I might have to cue that one up.
Yeah, because throughout the whole movie, the mother's always going crazy with, that's Queenie out there. That's Queenie out there. Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me alone. When you're going out and raping women, don't go too far to rape the women because Queenie's out there.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, she gets away, and it's just a slow motion shot, like a shot-by-shot thing with this fucking white hair bitch jumping out of the fucking tree.
Yeah, you're right, Tim. Fuck. I got to go back and see that.
Is that a trauma movie?
Yeah, that's a trauma movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's one that they bought. They didn't make it.
Yeah. All their best ones they bought. Sorry, Lloyd.
I mean, Poultrygeist is a good movie.
Poultrygeist's fun for sure. Tim.
No, thanks, killing.
Oh, hey. Okay, here's a quick one for the group. If you think you know the answer to this trivia question too quickly, just sit on it. Okay, but I'm going to ask everybody here real quickly. Somebody DM'd me, and they asked, "Hey, have you covered the movie, The Human Centipede?" Right?
Oh, no.
And if
not,
not,
I know exactly who it is, but I'll hold my tongue.
If not, do you plan on it? Question mark.
Mm-hmm.
So Tim, you got it down. You think you got it locked in?
Oh, I guarantee I know who it is.
Candice, what about you?
I think I know who it is.
Pretty good idea. Jonny, you're a fan. Who do you think would recommend that one?
I've been thinking about it, and honestly, I couldn't venture a guess there. I'm going to have to sit and listen to the answer here.
Well, that's fair. I told Ashers we'll probably get you.
I knew it.
Oh, man.
So then
she's just sending out whatever podcast. Have you done The Human Centipede yet?
No, Tim.
This is NPR. This is serial. What are you talking about? Leave us alone, Ash.
Tim, it's more devious than that. Right before that, she tweeted, "Hey, everybody, is there a horror movie you've watched that you're never going to watch again?"
I saw that. Yes, I saw that. And somebody actually replied to it, The Human Centipede.
Yeah, Ashers, don't crowdsource your selections of fucking shit that you're
Oh, man, I responded to that, too. Thank God she didn't pick the movie I said.
Oh, yeah, because you picked Seed.
Exactly.
See, I never answer stuff like that because I always think it's some social engineering shit.
Yeah.
Like, what vampire would you be based on your month, Candice? Now somebody on the internet knows exactly what month you were born in.
No,
the next one they're going to ask you, between 1 and 31, what kind of werewolf would you be?
Yeah. Which one of these slashers is your soulmate based on the first 3 digits of your social security number?
Yeah.
It was a fun thing. Shut the fuck up.
I got the count, and it's not which one are you; it's which one's going to bone you down.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
you got the count.
The Human Centipede?
The human? No, Tim. This is the completely unrelated.
It's a good movie. All 3 of them are good.
They are fan. We are going to cover the Human Centipede. So,
and I'm surprised that she didn't pick 2 out of the 3.
No, she wants to do all of them.
We'll be covering the Human Centipede.
We should just do a Centipede month.
What else would there be? Just all of them?
We only got 3
1, 2, and
episodes.
3. Yeah.
Part 2 was a rough watch. I don't know if I could watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 2 was pretty rough. 3 was out there. But
Yeah.
Oh, 3 was funny.
It was funny, yeah. So, yeah. Our girl, Annie, they blow by the road to Camp Crystal Lake, and she's like, "Hey, stop it, man. That's you missed our turn. You wanna stop the car real quick? Maybe turn around, let me out of here." Nope, I guess not. They speed up. Annie bails out of the whip, fucks her knee up on her landing, tries to run away, doesn't work out for her, gets her throat slit, dead.
Good throat slit, too.
Awesome.
Great throat slit.
It is
all on screen.
It is tremendous. And
you don't see too many killers in these movies using cars.
No, you really don't. Huh. That's a good point. So Tim's building up his criminal profile here. He's like, well, clearly they can drive.
I was actually driving, and the Halloween theme came on my Spotify playlist. And as I was like cruising down the road, with my system bumping to it, I was like, is this what Michael Myers listened to pump himself up before he would go kill?
Fuck yeah, that's my jam.
That was never clear. No, I have to say, this movie does throw a crank in it because you see the killers driving, right? And they're driving reasonably, so I wouldn't suspect that it was a woman at all. I was really surprised at the end.
Huh.
That's an Eddie style joke. I got to stick with my own jokes.
Hey, those are man hands, okay? And I was like, okay, well, clearly the killer's a man.
Lots of man hands in this movie. Actually.
Well, they talk about how on the commentary track, how they kind of made her. They kind of took, because at that point Betsy Palmer was known as the girl next door.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was, very feminine. She had long hair all the time. She was always dressed nice. And they bulked her up And this with the big fucking bulky sweater and the short
cable
hair
knit sweater.
It's a big ass sweater.
It's warm. It's
It looks like a cozy sweater.
Because they're filming in fucking September where that fucking wood is ice cold, by the way.
Plus, it'll protect you from Jason if you wear it.
Exactly.
So that's
and then someone has to get the machete.
Got to get the machete. Yeah, no, they did a similar thing, like you said, with Savini's hands instead of hers. With what do you call it? Sleepaway Camp, right? Where all the shots of Angela were actually the other actor, Ricky.
Maybe Jonny can back me up on this, but I think she was only on set for 2 days because she was such a big name at that time. I don't think they could afford her for a long time.
Yeah, it was a very short shoot.
Makes sense.
A couple days at most, for sure.
Well, she lit up the screen when she was on it.
She really did. I mean, she's tremendous. But can I just ask you guys something? In the scene where where Annie jumps out of the Jeep, don't you think she bailed a little early? Like, given that we know the driver is this 52-year-old woman, she could have just started wailing on the driver instead of jumping from 60 miles an hour.
Yes, in hindsight, you're right. Yeah, in hindsight, you're right, because you're not going to be as frightful as a 52-year-old woman. But then as soon as you said that, I was like, I'm a guy, so I never really had to worry about that. But if I was a chick and I got into a car hitchhiking and I was like, oh, that was the turn, and they just kept going, that's when you jump the fuck out of the car.
Fair.
No, yeah, because you hear the Jeep accelerate.
On the other hand, you're right, because it is Betsy Palmer, so you could just fucking, pull a colostomy bag out and run away.
Well, she's supposed to be in her 50s, and she has a colostomy bag.
It's my second go-to move in a fight.
She's actually pretty limber if you look at her work in the film.
Man. Maybe that was it. Maybe they had to put the big sweater on her to cover up the colostomy bag, right, Tim? That makes sense.
Why that came out of white colostomy bag just popped into my mind.
I don't know. Tim, you worried about something? You're getting up there in age.
Oh, I know why. I'm sorry. Because this is going to be the second time I mentioned Law and Order SVU. Some woman catfished a MMA fighter to raping a YouTube influencer. And when they caught her in upstate New York, she was with her mother who had cancer. And when they arrested her, she goes, but Mama, who's going to change a colostomy bag? And as they take her in handcuffs, the woman says in like an Adirondack accent, well, who's going to take care of my bag?
That just really stuck with you.
In my head, yeah. I mean, the way she delivered the line, it was like, oh, she does have a colostomy bag.
And she sounded impassioned about it, too.
She sounded impacted.
So, oh, man. Yeah, they're out there playing on the lake, having a good time. And then Ned, the prankster he pretends to drown. That's very funny. It's a fun gag.
And you know what? Is this what sets her off? Oh, no, she already killed.
She's watching. No, she's watching the whole scene from across the lake. You see her point of view there.
And they can. One of them can feel her watching them.
Feel her creepy eyes all over her.
Maybe that's Ralph that they're getting the feeling from.
Could be. Yeah, maybe it is Ralph out there. So no, he pretends to drown. Yeah, then we see that they're being watched. Then Alice goes, I'm going to go get dressed in my cabin real quick. I'll see you guys later. Cut to a snake. Almost fucking kills her in the cabin.
The snake. Oh, and yeah, in Crystal Lake Memories, I found out that was just that dude's pet snake, and they did not tell him that they were going to kill it.
Yeah, it was a real snake. That's true.
Wait, hold on. What? That's somebody's fucking pet snake that they brought to the set for whatever reason?
Yep.
And they cut the fucking thing up like it's the fucking 13 colonies?
Yep.
Sorry. That's a Benjamin Franklin deep cut.
It's a Hamilton cut.
Sorry.
That's a snake cut. That was just somebody's pet snake they brought to set, and they're like, "Yo, you can use my pet snake
in the movie. What you going to do with it?" We're gonna just use it in a scene. It'll be quick. It'll be fine. We'll get it back to you in like 10 minutes.
But he yelled, "Cut!" No, I meant cut the snake. Fuck. So yeah, he just wept. He just cried while they killed his snake. That's pretty fun.
It's very sad.
So they all go to the cabin to help her to kill the snake. By the way, I love they wreck the entire fucking cabin. They're just like turning the bed over, throwing shit all over the fucking place. Dude's like, well, we got to wait for the snake to come out from under the bed, and just chops the shit out of it.
Well, no, Kevin Bacon jumps on this bed, and this is such an old fucking bed. I'm like, I can't believe he didn't break his fucking neck. Because there is a metal frame on this bed, right? And there's a metal bar that's going like right where your neck would be if you were laying down in this bed, and he fucking jumps on that thing, and the mattress goes right through. Yeah,
so Tim, you've got a serpent, right? You got Kevin Bacon playing Floor is Lava. Is this a precursor to Tremors?
Oh, wow. Wow, this movie really did influence a lot of shit.
It was foretold.
It was foretold in Friday the 13th. So then we cut to our buddy Ned, and Ned has done a wardrobe change. Now, he's got his jersey that he's wearing in like a diaper configuration.
Yeah, Miami Dolphins.
I'm surprised it wasn't a Washington football jersey.
Or as my family calls them, the Miami Dog Shits.
A Washington football team.
Wow.
Or a Cleveland, what are they now, the Guardians?
Washington. What's Washington now?
Well, yeah, Washington used to be the Redskins.
Yeah.
Cleveland used to be the Indians.
Yeah.
Atlanta, the Braves.
It's the Braves. They're still the Braves.
They're still
giving that shit up,
Yeah,
they're fine with that. But so, surprising this guy wasn't wearing like one of their jerseys. And he's just made himself a fun little headdress out of feathers, and he's doing the racist Native American impression dance that you do in the 80s. That's always fun. And the cops pull up, and I'm like, oh, good, they're going to cancel him, because that's what happened.
They're going to cancel him.
Because that's what happened in 1979.
Yeah. No, he would have won an award. I mean, how many fucking movies did Jerry Lewis make where he basically pretended to have mental deficiencies? And people are just like, that's cool.
Well,
Mickey
funny
Rourke.
at the time.
Not Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rooney pretended to be Asian in Breakfast at Tiffany's, famously.
Yeah.
I think that's a big problem with comedy all the time, is that most comedy, for the most part, does not age well, no matter what.
Yeah.
Times change.
Yeah.
Pretty rough.
Just what's topical now that's funny now is it going to be funny in 20 years from now? So that said, I'll be dead, so nobody's going to cancel me in 20 years. I feel sorry for you.
No, Tim, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these recordings and feed it into AI. Feed it into the... Yeah.
And just replace us?
Yeah.
Then we just play RPGs all the time?
Yep, you guys will just play D&D with me all the time, alone.
Can we set up a YouTube channel where, like, it's that Seinfeld show, but it's just us doing the podcast, and then just figure out how fast we get to racism?
Oh, yeah, we'd get there. I mean, we're already there.
Like 5 seconds.
I was going to say, we don't need the AI for that, Tim. We're already there. What with you doing your Heil Hitlers earlier, Tim? So, the cop rolls up.
Off, right?
Yeah, we weren't recording. So the cop rolls up, and he tries to accuse them all of smoking weed.
Smoking the marijuana.
That I guess Ralph has been selling weed? I didn't get that vibe.
No.
Wait, is that what he was saying? That Ralph was selling the weed?
No,
well, yeah, he was accusing them of smoking weed, and then he mentioned something about, has Ralph been up here?
Yeah, because Ralph gets drunk. I thought it was because he gets drunk.
No. Because he says that he's heard that Ralph is up here spreading rumors, is what he says.
Oh, okay. Huh. Spreading rumors? Oh, about the camp being...
Yeah. Oh, there's a death curse here.
Why would the cop care?
Well, he
it's
said
just
that
the reason for the cop to go out there and bust their chops.
Yeah.
Well, he said that he is constantly putting him in jail, and then he has to spend the day in court, and it pisses him off.
Yeah, all that overtime. Yeah, it really pisses him off.
Also,
I'm wondering, this isn't the first time that people have been killed up there, and that's why they're trying to keep people away a little bit, and if not, keep your mouth shut, you know?
So, I'm sorry, Johnny, did you say Ralph's married?
He is indeed, and we learn that later in the movie. When the second cop is talking to Steve Christie, when he's giving him a ride home in the rainstorm, they're talking about Ralph, and they're like, his wife said this or that, and
Well, he doesn't act like a married man on Twitter.
Candice is on Twitter, yeah, so probably not the real guy anyway.
Yeah, the guy also died years ago. So.
What?
Yeah, he's dead.
You're talking to an AI Ralph, Candice.
Oh, no. Candice. All this time he's been catfishing you.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, she thought she was getting Ralph.
Yeah. Nope. She just got Ned with a computer with AI.
That's the opposite of catfishing. when you want a Ralph, but you don't get one.
Yep. We all want a little more Ralph in our life.
Fish catting.
But no, he's the cop gets a call though and fucks off, leaves him to go smoke pot, or at least Alice to go put the pots away, I guess, because she's in the because the other broad never showed up. By the way, Annie, she was supposed to be the cook here. Yeah, this is Alice goes to put the pots away in the pantry, opens it up, and fucking Ralph hiding in the pantry.
It's a Ralph in a box.
It's a Ralph in the box, yeah. And he's
It only would have been if he's holding his slippers in his hands.
I think he has to tell everybody who's going to die that they're going to die. Because before he just told Annie.
It's like a Vig?
Yeah. Yeah, Tim. Because, before he told Annie, right? And then she's dead. But now these guys are all about to die. So he had to, like, sneak over to the camp and let them know real quick.
Well, his first line out of the pantry is, "I'm a messenger of God."
Yeah, that's always good.
That's always
You
fun.
believe everything someone says after they say that.
Yeah, a guy that looks like that starts talking to you about God.
And
Time to
he's
leave.
There to do his bidding.
Yeah. Or, do with their bidding. I got to find that. I told you guys we had the schizophrenic neighbor of ours that rewrote the Bible because he thought he was Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
I got to find that Bible he wrote. I got it around here somewhere.
Oh, God, you kept it?
Candice.
Why would you not keep it, Candice? What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's worth money.
No, I mean, it's just an interesting insight into somebody's fucking brain like that, right?
Candice, here's
It
the
just
deal.
seems so personal.
So he gave it to us.
Is it okay to spill your seed on the ground in his Bible?
I don't know. There's a lot about the guy that ran the hardware store in town, like kind of being an asshole.
Hardware? Well, I mean, he's a carpenter.
What, is that Satan?
He might be Satan. I have to go back and reread it. It was very hard to understand. At one point, I wanted to make a book and put it up on like Amazon or something because that guy's long dead. But I wanted to go. I had to figure out a way to go out and edit out like specific names and shit. But
Wait,
according,
so he was working real life people that you knew into the Bible?
Mm-hmm. My dad's in it.
Oh, no.
Wow, Eddie. Wow, I didn't know. Hallelujah.
Well, because my dad...
I'm honored, I guess, right?
Well, my dad let him stay in one of the buildings on our property. So he was
it a manger?
No, it wasn't a manger. It was just a second like house on the property that was a lot smaller.
Can you put me up for the night?
Because there was no more room at the inn?
Yeah, I guess that would make my dad one of the wise men, but that doesn't ring true.
No, the wise men traveled.
That's true, yeah.
So he's the drummer boy.
Well, he kept telling me my asshole was going to have a virgin birth. So,
Your dad or your neighbor?
Don't answer that, Eddie.
Oh, man. So, yeah, he warns them all that they're doomed and hops on his bike and fucks off.
No, I need an answer.
No. We should leave that hanging.
Candice, you want an answer to my joke comment about my asshole having a virgin birth? All right, it was Stanley Tucci was the guy who told me that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's a weird poll.
Oh, he was in the Bible, too, so... I don't fucking know.
Saint Tucci?
Yeah. It's Saint Tucci.
The Tooch was
So
Sounds like a bad guy in a Death Wish movie. Gotta get Saint Tucci. He raped and killed my adopted daughter.
Don't know why I keep adopting kids. Keep getting raped and killed.
That's a good point. Who's adopting kids to him? Seems very, very ill-advised. Oh man. So yeah, they're like, all right, well that was weird. Let's go fire up the old generator then. So they fire up the generator.
Yeah, a lot of this movie's turning shit on.
A lot of turning shit on. A lot of cat and mouse going on.
Oh
too.
Yeah, my favorite thing in the whole world.
Nothing Candice
loves. A lot of
loves.
stalking going on. You know, it's a slow, deliberate pace.
You like Halloween, right? The first one.
Yeah.
It's basically that's what that movie is too.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
That's why Halloween's not my favorite Carpenter film.
Yeah, well, we know Ghost of Mars is not being done on this podcast as long as I'm a member of it.
Well, guess you better find another podcast, Tim, because
That's
next week
we'll do AI of Tim.
Eddie, you want to play D&D next week?
So yeah, then I guess old Jack and Marcy, they wander off so Bacon can give her some sausage.
Oh, how long did it take you to think up that one?
On the spot, Candice.
That's beautiful.
On the spot. Thank you. So yeah, this is when the others all decide, hey, let's play strip Monopoly. And
this is where I have a note. Kevin Bacon's character is very fixated on the weather for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
He keeps talking about which ways the wind is blowing, about how the storm's going to get stronger as it travels down the holler.
He actually had the line, he says, it can tear down that valley like a son of a gun.
Yeah.
And we all know son of a guns are famous for tearing down valleys.
He's talking about the storm coming. Winds change, 180 degrees.
Yeah, just will not stop talking about it. Yeah.
There's going to be a shift of 6 degrees in precipitation.
Oh, my God. How long did it take you to think of that one?
Before Kevin Bacon starts boning, we have to talk about Ned. Because Ned wanders into it. He sees something in a cabin. He wanders in. And we don't see Ned again until later on in the sex scene.
Ned just kind of got the notes. We're tired of his shit. Yeah. And he fucks off.
He's done. Ned's done at that point.
Well, but in this movie, this is when we find out that Kevin Bacon is a 2-pump chump.
Well, before we get to that, is there a more boring and less sexy game to strip to than Monopoly?
Oh, God.
It's the only way.
The Monopoly scenes
Nobody is staying wet, and nobody's staying hard.
Staying wet.
Have any of you ever finished a full game of Monopoly?
Hell no.
Nope.
I don't think I have, but I've played it a lot.
I don't think there is an
about
end.
An hour.
I think unless you're like some kind of real stupid nerd or like a professional Monopoly player, nobody's finished that fucking game.
Professional Monopoly player?
Hey, they probably exist.
I bet you. Yes,
Yeah.
Monopoly.
If anybody wants a really interesting story, look up the real history of how that game was invented and what it was originally.
I was just thinking of that.
Probably very racist, right? Like
the exact opposite.
No, exact opposite. This is the most anti-capitalist fucking game ever made, and then it turned into a game sucking capitalism's dick.
Absolutely.
It's funny how that happens.
Some woman invented it, too. That's why Candice knows about it.
What about strip settlers?
Okay, Tim.
No wonder it was so boring. So what about strip settlers of Catan? You could play that. Maybe strip Risk?
No, strip poker or strip blackjack is the way to go. Just get it over with. You know,
strip Clue.
Get the clothes off and get to the fucking. That's it.
Yeah.
Strip Clue.
Monopoly.
Strip Mousetrap.
Oh God.
Well, no, you can't do that. You can't do that to Candyland. That's probably illegal, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Don't Google it. Whatever you do.
I'm sure Twister was around then.
Snakes and Tunnels or whatever the fuck that game is.
Twist. Yeah, Johnny's right. Twister was around probably from the 50s, right?
That's probably the best one.
That's the best fuck game, yeah.
Because the whole thing is just you're gonna fuck, right? That's the whole reason that was invented.
Yeah. You spin it, and there's a special one that's the wild card, and that's when you just slide it in.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason that it's the only game that comes with a rubber mat. So
that's true. That's right. Easy to clean.
This game was made for fucking.
Goddamn right it was.
Is that where that term came from? She's a real spinner?
Sit and spin.
So Jack Nuts and Marcy.
When I was a kid, Candice. Holy shit! I was a little heavy at that time.
They still make them.
Really.
So you really had, you really had.
Hey, give me a push.
You're all sweaty and red-faced, vein popping out of your forehead. Just to move 2 inches.
No, when I was a kid, it wasn't called heavy. It was called husky.
I
had to buy clothes in the husky section.
Husky section.
It was literally called the husky section.
What a nice way to just church it up for people.
No, because it was boys' clothes, and the girl, and when my sister put a little weight on, she had to go to the fat bitch section.
Yeah, stupid whore section.
I remember saw an ad for blue jeans in extra large or plus sizes in the 70s, and it was like husky and pretty plus.
Pretty plus.
Which is bigger? Which is the larger size? Husky or pretty plus?
Well, you got plus, right?
Plus and then pretty plus.
Yeah.
So that means it's pretty big ass. Going those pants.
Pretty
big asses were popular.
That's just that they named that department after how people would describe you. How is she? Well, she's pretty plus, if you know what I mean.
And I don't mean extra. Oh, she's extra.
She's extra, all right. So yeah, I just have Jack Nuts and Marcy, and then she has to go pee like they do.
Well, you got to pee the babies out.
Yeah. Right. And
that's how that works.
Yeah, you pee all the babies out because they come out the same hole, right, gentlemen?
You got to get that after laid piss out quick. Otherwise, you don't want to piss in the morning after you had sex the night before.
Why?
You never saw Me, Myself, and Irene?
Yeah. Oh. I thought that was a joke for the movie.
No. Okay.
No, it happens.
Yeah. It's like, just think about it when Peter Parker shoots a cartridge and some of it gets clogged.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like the spit valve on your trumpet. You gotta get the last little.
Why, do you have a trumpet, Candice?
No, I know someone who plays the trumpet, and they describe like the.
Oh, Chaz. Oh.
No.
So she wanders off to go pee, and Jack sparks a doob and starts smoking it up, and he's like, "Hurry! I hope she hurries back. It's getting cold in here. It's a good thing I'm alone and there's nobody in this bunk bed with me at all."
That's what you get for fucking Bogarting and fucking being cheap at the joint.
Yeah.
Deserve to die.
So that's his sin in this, how everybody dies because they fuck up some way. By the way, that wasn't in
plus
there.
He wouldn't be a 2-pump chunk if he smoked that fucking joint before he fucked her.
That's a good point, Tim. It's a very good point. It is a performance enhancer.
This is the best kill in the movie.
It is. It
probably is. Yeah.
It's so smooth the way it's done. When I was watching it, like I said, I watched this in fucking Blu-ray fucking quality. I couldn't fucking really see how they did the fucking trick that much.
Well, the first thing is the hand. The hand comes up and grabs the forehead. That's the first part. Then there's about a 2-second delay, and then you start seeing this arrow coming through the neck. And no one expecting that. First time you watch
slowly going through the neck too.
You know what they should have done? They should have put the arrow through his neck twice, and that would have been the one to kill them. So 2 times.
It would have been a 2-pump kill. Gotcha, Tim.
But I mean, the physics of this kill are just not. I mean, I have trouble with it.
Oh, no, there's no way you can get your hand around his forehead.
Think about what's happening here.
What you're doing with this,
You have a dead body on the top bunk, first of all. Okay, we've learned that through the camera panning up at some point during the fucking.
And the blood drop.
Yeah. And so Ned's on top, and then you have Mrs. Voorhees underneath the bed during the fucking. So think about that. So how much
that's hot.
Technically, that's a 4-way then, Johnny.
I think Ted Cruz liked that porn video on Twitter a couple of years ago.
I think she was flicking the bean.
Well, I mean, she has about 8 inches of clearance. under that bed,
depending upon how hung.
Depending on if she had the sweater on or not.
Sometimes she only has 6 inches of clearance.
Yeah. So I mean, think about, she has to have enough room to get that fucking to have this spear go through the frame, through the mattress, through his spinal column, and then through the neck. That's pretty amazing. That's quite a feat of physics, right there.
We know Tom Savini. Here's Yobo's opinion. You could have had it where he sat up to light the joint, and then he laid back down quickly, and then the arrow goes through his neck because she had it set up like that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean,
but it still looks great.
Yeah,
it looks amazing.
It's better because he pushes it in slow.
Yeah. Really?
Blood pumps.
Not like that. No, like, because it looks more painful.
Well, you said
when the arrow's coming through slowly, as opposed to like a quick stab.
Well, you said...
Go ahead, Candice. I remember I had one chick I met told me that she thought that I would stab her to death instead of tickle her to death. And it took me a couple minutes to figure out what she was talking about. And I was like, hey, thank you.
But you also said that he sticks it in slow, Candice, not she.
Because it's man hands.
Shit! Oh, fuck, she did!
Because it's man hands.
That's okay.
Yeah, okay, Candice.
I got to tell your brother that's how you like it. He's on Twitter, right?
Oh, my God. You crossed a line.
So she already got in trouble with the brother talking about the edibles on Twitter.
Oh, that was so good. Oh, yeah, I thought you told me not to do weed, Candice.
No, that's not. Never told him that. I said he shouldn't smoke cigarettes.
Talking about smoking cigarettes, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, goddamn. So, yeah, no, fantastic kill. Just seeing... Don't tell me who to associate with. This is why you have
follows me on Twitter for some reason.
This is why people don't like you on Twitter, Candice.
People love me on Twitter. What are you talking about?
So you got your husband and your brother on Twitter, and you still can't win a poll on which one is better. You still can't even muster up one vote.
Yeah. What are you going to do? So, no, fantastic kill, though. Like you said, just seeing the tip of the arrow come through the throat towards the camera. Oh, my God. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Savini.
There's a reason why this movie did as well as it did.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of the, in-depth characterization.
Oh, it was Ralph.
Wow. Ralph really sold it.
He really did. So now, Candice.
I
gotta ask, after you just got done fucking, right? And you go pee after you got your holes worked, do you often look in the mirror and kind of play like it's the Truman Show?
You pretend you're Katharine Hepburn?
Oh my God, Johnny, thank you. See, okay, we're both the same age, because I have written down at this point, I was like, so far in this fucking movie, we got a Humphrey Bogart impersonation by Ned.
Yeah, Ned. That's right.
And now a Katharine Hepburn fucking impersonation in front of America.
Yeah.
Amira. Who the fuck is watching this movie and gets those fucking references?
I actually got it.
Maybe she was squatting over the toilet and she was bringing up baby.
Oh, shit.
I got a Philadelphia story for you.
Well, Candice was talking about...
I was trying to figure out how can I work Philadelphia story into it.
It was summertime.
It's a real African queen.
You was shooting Casablancas?
That one. Kevin Bacon? No, Kevin Bacon. Well, you'd have to ask the Chicken Hollow Man. She could tell you.
No, because he has a daughter. Because he does some kind of fucking car commercial with his daughter. So he's not shooting Casablancas. Kevin Bacon.
Car commercial with his daughter? Yeah. What the fuck?
Dude, his fucking financial advisor took him for all his fucking money.
Yeah.
No, for real. He really fucking took him for all his money, yeah.
Damn.
Shit.
Well, he needs to film Casa Bacon.
That was it. That was why there was a period there where Kevin Bacon was kind of doing Nicolas Cage, where it's like, you're going to pay me? Okay, I'll be in it.
I mean, you got to hand it to the financial advisor, right? He took his own advice.
Shit. That man's good at his job, technically.
Yeah. That's one of those where it's like, if you have that kind of money, you really have to have maybe 30 fucking people all working on your money, and each one has to be watching the one before them. Because you hear that a lot, where all these fucking rich people, where all of a sudden, that's it. Because No, Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage just spent all his fucking money. But
yeah, he spent it all. There's
a ton of fucking famous people when you look it up that like Kevin Bacon, that their financial advisors just took off with all that fucking money.
God, how do you get to be a financial advisor? That sounds like a good gig.
It's I don't know. It's one of those things.
I knew a financial advisor.
Did they take all your money?
Already rich to begin with, and his family had connections, right?
Yep. Oh yeah.
There you go. That's how you become a financial advisor. There's no way that Tim Yobo is going to become a financial advisor, right?
Thanks a lot, Dad. First, you brought the fucking crazy schizophrenic over, and then you weren't rich and had connections.
First, you were in the Bible.
Yeah, you're in the Bible. But at least my family's okay in that Bible. That's the thing.
I feel like if your family's in the Bible, man, you should be able to make some money off of that.
In that Bible, yeah. I mean...
Yeah, well, guess what? Put, like, some QAnon shit in it, and you got yourself a mint, Eddie.
Oh, that's a good point, Tim.
Yeah, people buy that shit.
You're right, I gotta get into that. Hey, Tim, then you could be my financial advisor.
Oh, I like that idea.
So Marcy gets...
my office up in the Bahamas right now.
Marcy's chilling out in the bathroom. Hears something, goes to check it out, gets a fucking axe in her dome.
Another awesome kill.
Mm-hmm.
And really again, still looks good.
Yeah, in frame, on screen.
It looks perfect. I could not, again, like I said, I watch this on like fucking almost 4K, Blu-ray quality. Mm-hmm. You cannot see where that axe looks fake going into a fucking head.
Yeah. It looks great, man. So then we come back to the party, and one of the broads is like, hey, I think it'd be more fun, this strip Monopoly. I think it'd be more fun for me to go close the windows that I left open in my cabin. So I'm going to go do that instead.
That would be more fun.
Because here's the problem with strip Monopoly. You're giving people too long of a time to think about what's going to happen.
Yep.
Strip poker, bang, 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 then bang.
Exactly, Tim.
This is where I have the note, she has my hair. Like
which one?
Like she's or something?
The one who like goes in
the back pocket?
No, the one who goes and like checks on her windows and stuff. The one who initiated the strip Monopoly.
Okay.
I was like, she has my haircut.
Huh.
I was like, damn.
So that's terrible. Wondering why, even though she looks sexy in that raincoat like that, why not just put her clothes back on before she goes out?
True.
With the raincoat on over her clothes, but
good idea, yeah, Tim.
No, see now, 55 years old now, I'm thinking like, if that was my daughter, I'd want her to go. I don't want to catch a cold.
You'll catch your death that way.
Yeah, young Yobo's like, yeah, take that raincoat off. What the fuck?
Yeah, why aren't you trampling around the woods naked? Come on. This is a fucking Friday the 13th movie. I know that doesn't mean anything now because this is the first one, but come on. No. So, yeah, then the rest of them are like, yeah, let's just quit playing this because it's kind of sucks. Okay.
Yeah, and nothing's getting sucked tonight. So.
Yeah. So then we cut to Mr. Stash at the diner.
Oh, yeah.
And
okay, hold on.
Okay.
Is that waitress real or she's an actress? She has to be a real waitress, right?
I thought she looked
has
like...
to be somebody. She has to be like Sean Cunningham's grandmother, aunt, or somebody, right?
I thought she looked like Robert Englund playing that nurse.
I was like getting the Total Recall flashbacks for some reason, but
oh yeah, no. So that is Sally Ann Golden who played her. Her character's name is Sandy. Tim, you'll be. You know what? You might remember her from Alice, Sweet Alice, as the policewoman.
That's
Alice, Sweet Alice.
Yeah, it's the movie with the killer kids. Yeah,
those creepy masks.
Yeah, the plastic see-through masks.
We were literally just talking about.
Yeah, I saw that in the movie this with my mom. Yeah, that was after Blue Lagoon. Lagoon came out, and Brooke Shields was really popular.
And you saw that with your mom.
Yep.
No, we didn't see. I didn't see that one. Thank God.
They had to do a hand check.
My Aunt Irene took me to see that one 3 times. Hey. But in Alice, Sweet Alice, Brooke Shields is only in that for 35 seconds?
Yeah, and she's about 9 now. So she's prepubescent, I think, in that movie, isn't she?
Yeah, speaking of which, she has a new documentary about how all that kind of shit fucked her up a little bit.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense, yeah. So Stash pays for his coffee.
She's also born on SVU, by the way.
Oh, God. Oh, no. What? I don't want to know what happened to her.
Oh, no, because she was like 9 episodes, so it would take too long. So
dear Lord. Okay. So he pays for his coffee and leaves. hops in his Jeep, towing. What the fuck was he towing?
He had a trailer.
Just some shit. Yeah, trailer. Drives off for a little while, gets stuck in the rain, and cop stops him. Yeah.
Off the road. He's not even off road.
Yeah, he's just like his Jeep stopped working. He's like, shit. Well, it's raining. All the automobiles in this movie stop working because they get wet.
Yeah.
Remember the truck? Later on, they go try to jump in the truck to get the fuck out of there, and the guy's like, it doesn't work. It's wet.
Yeah, that's how vehicles work.
So here's my question. If you have a vehicle that doesn't work when it rains, why would you have windshield wipers?
Well, isn't that why you don't buy a Tesla?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Our new neighbor has a Tesla. And Tim, no shit, you can walk by that car, look at it, and the seams of where they pieced it together are fucking uneven.
No. Here's what's crazy. Okay. All right. Where I live, there's like 3 or 4 people have Teslas around me. Okay. Mm-hmm. They're all white. So I'm figuring that's got to be the cheapest one that you can buy. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. When you look at the windshield, the part where I guess like the rear view mirror is put there, it looks like when I put a cheap screen cover on my fucking iPhone with the bubbles that are underneath it. It is incredible. I can't fucking believe it. Next time I see it, I'll take a picture because every time I walk past it, I'm like, what the fuck? It looks like it's a fucking screen cover that wasn't made for your fucking phone.
And Tim, if they bitch at you for taking a picture, say, what? Your car's taking a picture of me, motherfucker.
Wait, go real crazy on them.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, too, is I swear to God, and look, maybe it's my liberal bias. When I see a Tesla, I'm like, I'm not walking in front of that fucking thing. Let that thing go ahead of me because it's not going to see me. They're going to run me over.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen those videos of it running over children? It's fucking great. They're not real children, unfortunately. They're dummies, but I mean, if it was a real child that got ran over by a people, you're dumb too.
If you're a kid sitting in front of a Tesla, you're kind of a dummy to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the new don't.
They're real kids. They're just real dumb.
Right. They're just stupid. They're morons. They're rubberheads like old Jason here.
It's a new quicksand for kids, right?
Yeah. Hey, did Jason get like a little bit of the toxic sludge from Toxic Avenger?
It is Jersey.
It is Jersey.
And trauma, kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, definitely the same thing. Yeah, I think so. I think we found the Toxie connection in Friday the 13th.
Can you imagine if there's a crossover between Toxie versus Jason?
There is. At the end of Jason Takes Manhattan, there's toxic waste that destroys Jason.
Oh, yeah.
So Toxie is like splooging all over Jason that kills him. Yeah.
It takes care of Jason at the end of this.
How perfect is it that the New York Jason gets killed by toxic waste? Isn't that perfect?
I mean, we have alligators in our sewer and marijuana plants growing and opiate buildup all over the place in our sewers.
Yeah, pizza rats.
Pizza rat was a prank.
Yeah, the Bagel Boss. Remember that guy?
Oh, Bagel Boss. I love Bagel Boss because that got Pam Grier to like one of my tweets. I forget what it was. I made some joke about Bagel Boss.
The Ace of Cakes.
Yeah, you got the Ace of Cakes guy.
Tim, a question for you. Has Sybil Danning ever replied to you?
Nope, she doesn't. She's waiting for me to die. And then she's going to reply to me.
She'll outlive us all.
I've had a couple of people who follow her who's like, why are you making this? If you don't like what she's, why? And I'm like, dude, she's fucking posting with somebody's son, a famous person committed suicide. She fucking posted a picture of that kid. And then she's like, oh, I too know what that was like because one time I was in Paris during the Grand Prix. He has a picture of my breast.
Yeah. That sounds like a Sybil Danning tweet.
Her tweets are so funny. They're so self-aggrandizing and incoherent at the same time.
It's like her breast grew AI and still don't know what to do.
Tits out.
And I'm like, calm down, lady. I've seen The Howling too.
Yeah, we've seen it. Don't worry. Oh, man.
Today, Henry Kissinger died. One time, I was in a movie with Henry.
With a Henry.
Mm-hmm.
I had an O. Henry bar from Craft Services on the set of And so he gets stuck out there. Cop picks him up. Meanwhile, our hero hears something out in the distance.
Well, it sounds like a distressed child. Would you guys go after that?
Nope.
Would you run out? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah,
you know why? Because it's probably Brenda. 2 cats fucking.
Yep. And I have children, so that tells you something.
Would you check on your children? And then not go out.
Maybe that depends on how comfortable he is.
Yeah.
Cold night, you know.
I mean, it is raining very hard outside. So.
Yeah.
At this point, if you get up, you're probably going to have to take that piss anyway, right?
Yeah. You know what? Maybe they
keep that piss off.
Maybe they should. Maybe they'll learn a lesson.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
it's a life lesson.
Maybe the 3-year-old will learn a lesson if she sneaks outside at night and gets caught in the rain.
In the archery field.
Yeah, in the archery field, exactly. Because, the crying child sound is coming from the archery field, training area. Don't go out there. Just wanders out there. And all of a sudden, all the lights.
In her Little House on the Prairie nightgown, by the way.
What the fuck was with the weird...
Long.
Yes! There's so much conservative clothing in this movie for her and for Alice.
She's wearing like a Dickensian night robe, like something Uncle Scrooge would wear.
The other chick, her nipples are out the entire time of this
100% out, yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, it's the cottagecore look. It's real hot.
Oh, yeah? Is this what shitheads on the internet are talking about when they say they want a trad wife?
I don't know what that is.
Trad is an abbreviation for the word traditional. Yeah.
Okay.
So shithead like right wing people are like, I want a trad wife.
So there's an irony there that they would use an abbreviated term for traditional. Because no way would traditional people.
Come on, Candice. Actually, those chads. Let's go.
There's no way traditional people would be making. Abbreviations like trad wife.
Yeah, they also wouldn't be making memes about it on Twitter, but,
Exactly. You wouldn't be on Twitter if you were really traditional. Piece of shit.
You'd be out.
And how about this? If you weren't a traditional man, you might be able to get a woman.
It's true, yeah. You know what? Candice, you could go meet some of these dudes out at the Sorghum Festival.
Sorghum.
That's traditional, right?
In church.
Oh, God, yeah. So,
church is a good place to meet traditional women. That's right. They're already pliable. They believe that shit.
So she goes out to the archery range. The lights pop on. We hear a scream and cut back to Alice. Where Alice in...
So, Mrs. Voorhees has been practicing archery all this time? Or...
Well, we know she's handy with an arrow. We know she's... I mean,
that's up close. That's
Yeah. Well, we know she's got a voyeurism fetish, and she's handy with an arrow.
She probably was practicing on, critters.
Yeah, critters.
Yeah,
that makes
sense. Where is
she
living all this time?
You got to watch out for them critters. They'll get in a big ball and roll over your town.
Where the fuck is she living
shot.
all this time? Is she living in the town? Is she living in the woods? What?
They know her. Like, the Christies know her. She's like a friend of the family.
Yeah, she's like their neighbor. So, yeah.
She's just a friendly neighborhood family.
So everybody... No, wait, hold the fucking Everybody in this town knows that as soon as the hitchhiker chick comes into the supermarket and it's like, oh, I'm going up to Camp Crystal Lake, everybody fucking needle drops. They're like, what?
Yeah.
So, but they also know her and also know that her son drowned at this camp.
Yes.
The same year that 2 other fucking camp counselors were killed, and nobody can put 2 and 2 together.
No, you saw about how clever the people in the town were, Tim.
That's true. Okay, well.
This is rural New Jersey.
Yeah.
Very rural. Yeah.
This ain't the Jersey Shore, Tim.
I'm imagining a town of Guidos. It's a Friday the 13th movie.
Snooki could have fit under that bed with the arrow, Tim.
Are you sure?
I think so. I saw her do like a back handspring on a wrestling match. Somebody posted a clip of it.
What?
I'm like, what the fuck?
Wrestling?
Yeah, Tim. Tim, you got to watch wrestling, buddy.
I feel like wrestling is just where people end up.
Yeah, pretty much. Tim, you're going to end up there.
Is that before you go to Fox News, right?
Yeah. Oh, God. It's that and then Fox News. You come in as some sort of an expert. Just for them to, bounce their opinions off of. So, yeah. They go off and investigate old Alice and what's the dude's name she's hanging out with now?
Bill.
Good
he
old
is
Bill.
The most boring character in the movie. And he's also, I think, the worst actor, like, by far, of the cast. So Bill, we see a lot of Bill in the next 20 minutes, and it's kind of painful.
Yeah,
he's so bad.
I remember just being like, I don't even remember that this guy was in the fucking movie.
No, I completely forgot.
Yeah,
who the fuck is Bill?
He has no impression at all. The only thing you remember about Bill is that at the beginning he's shirtless and wearing suspenders.
Oh, okay. So it's the guy that's not Ned, basically.
Yeah, and he's not Kevin Bacon. That's right.
And he's also played by Harry Crosby.
Yes, son of
Bing Crosby.
That's right.
That is wild. That's like when I found out that the daughter of Claude Rains was in a slasher movie.
Wow. Oh, really? Which one? Which movie?
The Mutilator.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's cool.
Huh. So,
brother of Denise Crosby as well from Star Trek and Pet Sematary.
Huh. So they go wandering off and they find a bloody axe in bed. And they're like, that's probably not normal. So, hey, let's go look around the camp some more. This sounds like a good thing. They check every place trying to find all their friends because, clearly somebody's just has been murdered. So they want to make sure, which friend it is that's been murdered.
Yeah, I've written down, here's the part where everybody's playing detective.
Yeah. Well, they're probably secretly hoping it's Ned. They're like, fuck, if one of us is dead, hopefully it's him.
And this is so painfully slow and boring.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
There's a lot of atmosphere at this point. This is the worst part of the movie for me.
Yeah.
The end of Act 2 here.
Mm-hmm.
It's slow. There's a lot of Bill, which is bad. Alice, I guess we could discuss Alice somewhat, but I mean, she is very strong and she ends up doing business and stuff, but she's not that dynamic on the screen.
No. There's really no character build up to her except she's the final girl.
Well,
exactly. I mean, she doesn't pop at all off the screen, in my opinion.
When we're using the term final girl, but she's not a final girl. Like, she's
that
not.
Didn't exist yet.
Right.
Well, Jamie Lee was the final girl, and she popped off the screen a lot better. And
it doesn't hurt to have Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh as your parents.
Yeah,
it's going to help you pop. Yeah.
Right.
True.
Janet Leigh, that's her name.
You're acting against a little bit more than.
Yeah, I know that's her name.
Alice.
I just said it.
No, when I was trying to remember the person that my husband's oddly into, it's Janet Leigh.
What?
Yeah.
She was super hot in the 50s and 60s.
But still. Damn.
Her and then you, huh?
Yeah, wow.
Huh.
Two chicks you like to see dead in the shower, I guess.
Damn.
Sorry.
Wow.
That was really good.
That was a stretch.
Oh, man.
He doesn't listen, Candice, so he won't get any ideas. Don't worry.
True.
And plus, I think he's smart enough he'd make it look like an accident, right? I hope. No?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
If he needs any tips.
He'd make it look like a suicide, because then everybody would believe it.
That makes sense, yeah. So... They go wandering around. They go try the truck, and then that's when they discover, the truck got wet, so it won't work anymore. Oh, well, I guess we better...
It's made out of paper.
Buy a new truck.
Yeah, time to buy a new... Well, back then, I guess you could just get a new truck, right? 1980?
Yeah, for like 50 cents.
Yeah. Didn't they just give you one, Tim?
1980,
yeah.
You could probably buy... let's see, 86... Maybe like around 87, 88, I almost bought a Pontiac for about maybe $1,800.
Imagine that butterfly effect. that mover and shaker, Tim Yobo, financial advisor.
No, but then I decided,
to
you
the
know
stars.
what? I like to get high too much, and I'm not a
Yep,
great driver to begin with. So, fuck it. I'm not going to kill myself or anybody else. I'll just take the subway or ride shotgun.
It's almost like the opposite of being pragmatic while being pragmatic. I don't know.
Look, I know how irresponsible I am. I do not need a car.
For real, I'm not kidding. Because after I passed my driver's test, I passed it the first time with 100%. After that, the 3 other times I drove after that was each time I came closer and closer to killing myself or killing other people.
Okay.
And I wasn't even high. So I was just like, nope. I only know how to go fast and then faster. That's it.
Damn. He can't drive 65 in Manhattan.
That's good. That's good, Tim. I'm glad you made the wise choice there, buddy. So, cop and the camp owner, they're driving back to the camp. He drops the camp owner guy off, the cop does, because there's a wreck, and the cop's got to go speed over to it and, I don't know, look at the dead bodies.
Yeah, he kept talking about how there's more rapes and murders on a full moon on Friday the 13th. Yeah. And I was like, oh, they actually mentioned the date in the movie.
Wait, hold on. So it has to be a full moon and Friday the 13th?
No,
that's what
Tim.
He said.
It doesn't have to be a full moon and Friday the 13th.
Well, that's probably the worst day of the year, if that happens, right?
Yeah.
That's also what he's describing.
They also point out
probably hard to get a full moon on the 13th anyway, but I don't know.
His mother also points out that it's his birthday, Friday the 13th.
What?
The mom says it's his birthday today at the end.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, I know my birthday is September Monday 6th.
I think she doesn't know the day, but the 13th is his birthday.
The 13th, yeah. June 13th of 1945 was his birthday? 46. So close, damn it.
So sad.
It's okay. I get a silver medal for that one. So, because the other two discuss like hiking.
I wonder if that date was actually on a Friday. So some savant would probably know, right?
Some savant or somebody with Google.
Yeah.
Could tell. Watch, it wasn't Google. Even a Friday.
I don't care enough to.
You could also Google to see if there was a full moon as well on that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's all there. All the information's there.
We're really going to just nitpick this movie to death, man. Look, it wasn't even a full moon.
It's a little slow at this part, right?
Yeah, no, it does get a little bit slow. All right, so we'll go up to it. And then the lights go out. They run out and try to check on the generator or Bill does, while Alice takes a couch nap. And she wakes up, heads in the kitchen to cook some sugar. And she's like, I should probably go look for Bill, though.
It's like, for some reason, there's nobody around.
Yeah. I'm the only person who's going to have some of this boiled sugar. So she goes to look for people to share it with. And now we get the now classic of
the final
girl running through the woods, finding all of her dead friends.
They're all spring-loaded.
Yep.
It's like a fun house.
Rip off from Halloween there. I'll give you this one, Candice. Like when Bill, when Steve Christie is discovered. Like,
that's my favorite.
He flips out of like a tree backwards, does a backwards somersault. Much like Bob in Halloween, when Bob is discovered by Jamie Lee.
But this became a trope, right? In every other movie, you have the scene where the final girl
the body just appears,
finds all the bodies one after the other.
And I love his. Like, I guess he was like a trapeze artist or something. They had him up there.
They threw him onto a trampoline.
Yeah. I mean, that would be fun if you're a killer, right? Just go hang people in trees and shit.
Yeah, it's an art.
They didn't have a budget for any stuntmen. They had to do their own shit.
No, they didn't have that kind of money. They spent most of that $550,000 on coke. This is going to be.
Yeah.
It's another Last House on Dead End Street.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of, just a quick reminder to our listeners, somebody sent Terry a video of their asshole farting. So if any of you have any asshole farting videos, go ahead and send them on over to Tim. He's been asking for them. It's Yobo Gold on Twitter.
Well, that's good. Hit send.
No, not you, Candice. Present company excluded.
I'm gonna have to pick and match who matches the asshole farting. This one's you, Eddie.
It reminds me of the joke. The guy moves to a rural area, right, and he meets his new neighbor, the farmer. And the farmer says, "Hey, why don't you come over a little bit later? We're gonna have a party. There's gonna be a lot of drinking and fighting and fucking." The guy's like, "Well, that sounds like a good time, neighbor. What time should I show up?" He goes, whenever. It's just gonna be us." So yeah, she runs out, and I also love Bill stuck to the door of the cabin.
Oh, it's great
with all the fucking Post-it arrows. Fucking great.
The makeup's really good. I mean, that's Savini. Mm-hmm. That's Savini's work there.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's why this movie became what it did, is because of
Absolutely.
the makeup.
Yeah, but like I said, when you really consider coming from Dawn of the Dead to doing this really had to be a cakewalk for him.
Well,
Tim,
how much time did he have to set up that fucking throat through the arrow versus, we need 700 fucking zombies coming through a fucking mall and we need a motorcycle gang cutting people's heads off?
Well, Tim, this might have been a cakewalk, but that was a cake fight.
Oh my God.
No, that was a pie fight. So
yeah, but it doesn't work for the joke, Tim. It doesn't work for the joke.
Tom Savini does get the color of the blood right, though, this time. As opposed to Dawn of the Dead, where it's
much better.
Some other color.
Yep, dialed that in. Looks a lot better for sure.
Fixed up the blood over the 2-year period between the two movies.
So Alice, she decides to shelter in place. She runs into the cabin, starts piling trash on the door.
Stupid.
Ties the doorknob.
The doorknob, yeah. That was good. Then
there's like 4 windows that are fucking like 3 inches off the fucking ground.
Yeah. And one of her buddies gets tossed through one of those fucking windows.
Mrs. Voorhees working out.
Yeah, Pamela Voorhees, man, she's got some upper body strength.
Oh, yeah.
It's all hidden underneath that sweater. She's like ripped like the Hulk underneath that thing.
Yeah. Who would have known? Pamela Voorhees' secret China from the WWF.
They videotaped making love while my boy died.
Oh, God. I do think it was funny that her porno was called One Night in China. That
was a great title.
It's very clever.
I did not catch that one.
Oh, man. So, yeah, then she's hiding in the kitchen. Friend comes through the window. She sees a car roll up. She's like, "Oh, I'm being saved by whoever this is outside." Runs outside, and we see, a nice, older, gentle lady who introduces herself as Mrs. Voorhees.
She's got the old lady perm and the big smile.
Big
in the commentary, I think it was Sean himself who says, "As soon as you see her, you know she's the killer."
Yeah. I mean, you do. It doesn't help that she starts just going off all kooky about her dead
boy. You can't introduce her this late in the movie without, as soon as we introduce her this late into the movie, knowing that she's the killer.
Yeah, but guys, watching this in 1980, think about that.
Yeah.
Without the benefit of all the future
true.
films.
I was surprised because I was looking for a man.
Yeah, like when she's there hugging her, comforting her, saying, "Oh,
yeah," I was like, "This is weird."
I kind of believe her still. It's my first watch in 1980. I don't have a reason to think she's the killer.
Oh,
no. Johnny's right. Yeah, at that time we weren't jaded yet. We didn't know all the tropes.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's hard to look back.
Especially if at this point I've already seen Halloween a million times. I'm seeing this movie, I'm like, man, this is a ripoff of Halloween. It's Tom Savini's hands. And then, she shows up. Yeah, I'm not... old lady's going to get killed next.
That is tough. Going back on these movies, watching them, we have the benefit of hindsight, of course. And we know, I mean, and this is one of them that's set up for a bunch of those tropes, right? So watching it, it's like, okay, you kind of anticipate where it's going.
This back then, made the tropes.
Right.
Yeah. These are tropes. This is why when somebody watches, it's like, oh man, I've seen this a million times. Guess why you've seen it a million times before? Because this was the first one or the second one.
Yeah. Although in this one...
somebody on Twitter posted that if Jaws didn't have the music, nobody would be watching it.
What?
Now. Yeah. That the only reason Jaws stood the test of time is because of the music by John Williams. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, it certainly helps, but
no. Part of
but...
I agree with that.
Well, I guess that's the good thing about the internet. Everybody has an opinion, right? And much like that guy's farting asshole, they all want to share it. So
it's great if you have a bunch of burner accounts and you can afford the $8 a month. You got a bunch of opinions.
It's true, yeah.
That's $11 in Canada, by the way.
So she starts going off, all kooky. Oh yeah, years ago, a young boy drowned because there were these two people that were fucking and they weren't watching the kid.
Hit this bitch in the back of the head right now.
Yeah,
that's it.
KO El Kabong her ass right now. Coconut.
Guess what? The killer did it, not me.
Whack her with a coconut, give her amnesia, right? then you're safe. But no. And she's like, oh, by the way, you see that kid? That was my kid. And I can't let them in. Okay, motive makes sense. What she's doing, I don't want them to reopen this place and let that happen again. Okay, you go out and kill everybody. They're not going to reopen it. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You could
also.
also.
Is this the first time that she's killing people?
Well, after the first two in the beginning in like 1958.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just wondering if in this small town, there's something that happened 20 years ago still hold that much power. Where, like I said, everybody like, oh, you're going there? They're opening that place up again? It's 20 fucking years. I thought that
not much happens in small towns.
Tim,
it's not
you get the impression like every once in a while a hitchhiker would go missing. Shit like that.
That's an outsider. No one gives a shit about them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Tim, have the Cubs fans shut up about them winning once yet? I mean, people don't forget after just 20 years, okay? Like, how long ago did they see Bigfoot? The famous old video? How long ago?
The Gimli Patterson film?
Yeah.
Wow, that was on In Search of with Leonard Nimoy. So that
God,
was
how old is that thing?
75 at least.
People still fucking comment about it and bring it up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that's...
not everybody's a burnout like you.
Come back.
Yeah.
Not everybody's a burnout like you, Tim. They have memories.
Yeah, Tim.
I remembered it. What the fuck? I said I called that Leonard Nimoy In Search of.
Just fucking goes kooky. And she's like, I couldn't let them reopen this place after what happened. The bitch whips out a blade, and Alice is like, oh, okay, it's on. Right. Mm-hmm. So we play a little bladey fire pokery, and she gets
it's a pretty brutal fight because she starts beating the shit out of Alice.
Well,
just like slapping her face over and over again.
Backhands like a pimp.
It slaps the shit out because Alice is like throwing shit at her, like throws a spool of twine at her. I'm like, it's not gonna help. And she
that was almost like a scene of like a fucking police squad or airplane with the stuff that she's throwing at her. She throws a ball of twine. Yep. It looks like a small pair of pliers or something like that.
Yeah. So throws all that shit at her. She gets the shit slapped out of her.
Right. Old people strength. It's always surprises everybody.
Scrambles. Yeah.
She doesn't hold back. I mean, this actress is fucking beating the shit out of this woman.
Yeah.
It's really pretty hard. They're going hard against each other. Sure.
When they're mud wrestling at the end of it, and she's just like
and I beat off.
Yeah, she's just banging her face into the fucking
dirt. I know
that exact my god damn. So yeah, Alice finds a gun, tries to get the bullets for it, can't. Rifle whips her ass. Then we get the fun cat and mouse that Candice loves.
Oh yeah.
I did like when Alice hid in the pantry and you get the shot of the doorknob turning above her head.
Oh, and then she steps in Ralph's shit.
Yeah, she finds the bottles of piss that he kept in there.
You think Ralph has just been squatting in there? It's been like in the house in your
That's
neck.
why he's trying to scare them away.
That's why he's trying to get them away. It's like a fucking Scooby-Doo shit.
I was just about to say Scooby-Doo.
God. So they pull Pamela's face off at the end of it, and it's fucking Ralph. Tim, you know what? Better movie.
Yeah, they pull off little Jason's mask at the end, and it's Ralph.
And he's like, death curse. Ooh. Death curse, yes.
I've been warning people for years they were going to die up here. Not a damn person died, so I had to do it myself. Man. So, yeah, they fight for a little while, get out to the canoe, fight in the canoe for a little while. Then we get the classic. Alice stumbles back, picks up the machete, runs back at Pamela. Pamela gets this look on her face like, oh shit, fart.
Yeah, I should have been nicer to her.
I shouldn't have slapped her backhanded.
Yeah.
Just the front.
Shouldn't have pimp slapped her. And she just gets so decapitated. Right in frame.
It looks good.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And they hold on that shot because they're like, yeah, this is
the money shot.
This is it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This
is the first money shot.
Yeah. Right. Then Alice gets in the canoe and she's like, I'm going to go take a quick canoe trip into the middle of the lake for no reason.
No, director's commentary is they wanted her to get on the lake so everybody had a feeling that everything was over. The lake is nice and placid. She's away from the land. The killer's already been killed, as far as we know. And then that's it.
Yeah. Plus, nobody can sneak up on you in a canoe in the middle of a lake, right, Tim?
Not too easily, unless it's meth alligator.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, next morning she's fingering the lake for a little while. Cops show up. And
it's funny because she's already in the canoe.
Yeah. Hey, I found her.
She's getting him wet.
She's getting it wet in the canoe with her fingers. And the cops show up just like they always do when I'm...
I'd be able to turn that into a joke.
The cops show up just like they always do when I'm fingering in a canoe.
Shouldn't it be the woman in the canoe instead of the man in the canoe? Right?
I guess. Sure.
Okay.
Maybe hey, you could say them in the canoe.
You know, there you go, Candice. Yeah. Hats off to you in Missouri.
It's they, them, and the canoe. Everything's peaceful, but then, oh shit, Jason pops up, grabs her from behind, pulls her ass down into the lake.
And she wakes up.
Seaweed covered.
Rubber-headed.
He's splotched with seaweed.
Hydrocephalic.
Hydrocephalic. Real ICP fan. Pops right up and just drags her ass into the lake like they do. No, she wakes up in the hospital. It was all a dream. But was it? Because she starts asking the cops, hey, was anybody alive back there? The cop's like, nah, man. Hold on, roll over. We're going to stick it in your ass real quick.
Wow, yeah, I know. What a scene, too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. First of all, they're going to arrest her, right?
My wondering, here's I goes, what is the advantage of getting a shot in the ass versus getting a shot in the arm?
Oh, well, there's some medicines you have to put directly into a muscle. And, the biggest muscle is your ass. Mm. So it's just an easy way to take a shot to the muscle.
Not bragging, Candice, but...
Biggest muscle might be your ass, Candice. No, I think they're just conditioning.
My biggest muscle is in front of my ass.
If it was a dude, they would have just put it in the IV. They're just conditioning women to take it in the ass. I think that's what it is, too.
Little pricks in the ass?
Well, the first shot, the second shot in the arm, but you got to get that third shot in the ass. Otherwise,
you got to cancel. Pull the plug. No, so she's asking him, well, wait a minute, what about the boy, Jason? He's alive, right? He attacked me. He pulled me in the water. And they're like, what is this bitch babbling about?
Yeah, get her knocked up.
Yeah, get her knocked up and out of here. So, that's it, yeah. They show us the lake again for a minute, and...
We see the little fart bubbles coming out.
Fart bubbles come out. Yeah. I always thought it was...
Yeah. I know there was like... Kill.
Well, it's supposed to be, and I'm like, it's in, all the documentaries.
Wait, hold on. Superfan, Jonny, what is it supposed to be?
Well, I bet Candice knows, because it is a very thing that you hear in these documentaries, that she's saying, killer mommy,
yeah, in
the voice of Jason, and it becomes the k and the ma. So it's supposed to be k and ma. But it changes. You definitely hear the ch or whatever.
So please tell me that Betsy Palmer got a fucking check for every single fucking Friday the 13th movie they came out with it. Because they're sampling her,
right? Manfred Dean would get that check, because he produced that sound. But,
yeah, he does alter her voice.
Interesting.
Again, the woman gets screwed.
If you check the Alice Cooper Constrictor album, the He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask song samples that, you should be able to get your credits there.
That is very specific.
Yeah. That's just, interesting how into pop culture that
Alice Cooper references?
That Alice Cooper made a song. Well, but that was for the soundtrack for 6, though. So, makes sense.
6.
Teenage Frankenstein is in that movie as well.
Yes. that movie basically has an Alice Cooper soundtrack.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it, folks. That is Friday the 13th.
Was it everything you hoped for?
Yeah.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Did it hold up, Tim?
It held up. Yeah, I remember. The thing I remember most watching this movie, because like I said, I'm pretty sure, almost like 100% sure I did not see this in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, now that I think about it, is kind of strange, because I would see this, I probably would have seen this with either my mother, my grandmother, or my aunt.
Mm.
But the thing I remember the most is watching this on like 11 o'clock at night on like the local Channel 5 station, which at that time wasn't Fox.
Okay.
Which is like the regular like New York station. So I think I remember seeing that the most. And I'm like, but it definitely holds up. It's a good movie. It is a bit slow compared to what we're used to now, especially with Friday the 13th movies. I think that, I'm sure that in the next one there was more of a body count and there was a lot more kills, a lot faster and stuff like that. And every movie just kept getting more and more Jason. But, look, it's like watching Psycho, right? If you like horror movies, you got to watch a couple of movies no matter what. And Psycho, Halloween, and Friday the 13th would definitely be in them.
Yeah.
For sure.
Wow. So, Johnny,
I think it's mid.
Candice.
It is. When I think of like Friday the 13th movies that I like to go back and revisit, this is not one of them.
Well, you know what? Let me say it. All right, you know what? This is like, in horror movies, let's see. This would be like the original Rocky, the first Rocky movie, or the first Blood movie.
That's correct.
It starts something, and then it goes in a completely different direction after you start getting into 2, 3, 4. But this is what started the foundation of what I said is overall, pound for pound, the best horror movie series that has more than 3 movies in it.
Yeah, you can't understate the influence of this movie and what it spawned.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this movie...
hockey mask. You show anybody a hockey mask anywhere in the world off the ice, and the first thing anybody's thinking is Jason, right?
No, you think Alone in the Dark. I'm kidding. No, I'm not saying this, Friday the 13th sucks. I'm just saying that the first movie is not the best one.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree 100%. It's not the best one, but it's still a good movie, and it's worth watching.
So, Johnny, if the first one's not the best one, what would you say is the best one?
I really love the first one, but I lean towards part 4 as my favorite in the franchise.
Yeah.
I love the characters in part 4. They're all. It's just a fun group of people, and you have what's his name, the little punk 12-year-old kid as well, Tommy Jarvis, Corey Feldman.
And who is the one who plays his mother? Because she's also a famous actress, a long time ago actress, like Betsy Palmer. The one who plays the Jarvis's mother in that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that character is.
Superfan, I guess.
It's also got Crispin
everything on the show right now.
It's also got Crispin Glover in it.
Yes,
right.
yes.
Yes, that's right. Oh, that's the one with the computer, right? The computer says your chances are.
No, this Crispin Glover, this is where Crispin Glover dances.
Yeah.
And he's the dead fuck.
Yeah, he does a crazy dance in this one. But part 4 is awesome. I love this movie, though, the original. It's definitely, it has moments where it's slow, and there's certain characters that are just drag the movie down somewhat, like Bill. Not a big fan of Alice as an actress, as a final girl. She kicks ass, and she certainly cuts off the woman's head and shit. But I think she's kind of bland as an actress, and she really has to hold the movie together. So that's sort of a bit of a flaw in my opinion. but I think that Betsy Russell makes up for that. She's brilliant in this movie. She goes from, kindness to madness in like a second, and it's terrifying. And
it's true.
It's just terrific. And her death is Hall of Fame. And so is Ben Bacon's, actually. So it's fucking awesome. It's Friday the 13th. I've seen it over 100 times, I would say. I've seen it for 38 years. Yeah, I love it. I love part 4. I love part 2 also.
Mm-hmm. Part 2 is really good.
It is really good.
That's the one with the sack, right?
Yeah.
And him getting hung outside the barn?
Yeah. That's where the dude in the wheelchair gets pushed down the stairs.
Yep, I was just going to say.
That's one of my favorite fucking kills in the whole series. Oh,
fantastic. Yep.
Yeah, and he kills Alice in her home at the beginning.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's why you should never be on the phone with your mom. Don't talk to your mom.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what's going on.
There you go. Ignore your mother. That's a good tip.
Well, she wants to have a pleasant conversation as far as I remember, right?
No. That's a theme for this movie, too.
A lot of mommy issues going on here. It's also interesting. The first one, they're not like directly punished for fucking right? There's only one couple that fucks, but everybody gets killed.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
there's like no nudity in this movie, right?
There really isn't. That's true.
Little.
You see some tits.
A little bit of titties, but not a ton. It was surprisingly chaste, actually, which... I mean, if you look at, too, culturally, we were getting right into, the Reagan era, right? You have the big AIDS scare, so sex is immediately, frightening as fuck. So, of course, you're going to see that translated over to the big screen. Yeah. Well, fun movie. I had a good time watching. I'd say it holds up. Again, though, I love this series. I mean... all of the Friday the 13th, except for maybe Takes Manhattan, and I wasn't a big fan of Goes to Hell.
I think that's one of the lowest.
Yeah, Jason X is fun though.
Did you guys like Jason Goes to Hell at all? Or?
I like Jason Goes to Hell. I like that movie.
It's a
The
departure.
one with Erin Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, where Jason is a slug.
Yes.
Going from
he's a shapeshifter. He goes from person to person. Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but through a slug.
He infects people because the dude eats his heart. So, hey, you know what? He would have fucking taken out Liver King. That idiot eating all the fucking organ meat. Jason would have fucked him up, man. Eat my heart, see what happens. You son
Jason
of a
is
bitch.
Real. Fucking that guy, Liver King. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. At least Jason didn't have to take $15,000 worth of steroids a week.
It's just incredible to me how easy it is to scam some fucking people.
You know why, Tim?
I wish I was fucking 12 or 13 years old now growing up because I would be a millionaire by the time I hit fucking 17 with how easy it is to scam people.
I'll tell you what, though, Tim, it's never changed throughout all these years, and that's just that hope is a real easy thing to sell, buddy. It sells itself, you might say.
Yeah.
So, Jonny, man, thanks for joining us to talk Friday the 13th. Is there anything, and I mean anything except for hardcore pornography, that you want people to pay attention to on the internet?
And then it would depend on what the pornography is, too.
Right. No, I mean, first of all, thank you very much. It was fun. I enjoyed talking about this movie.
Yeah, of course.
It was good.
People that I've been listening to for so long, so it's great.
I think you did great for the first time being on the podcast. At least I hope this is the first time you're on a podcast and not sandbagging us.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I enjoyed it. I appreciate it. I don't have, like an online presence that I need to advertise or anything like that. I'm on Twitter. I don't do anything else. I just use it for shits and giggles. I like to follow.
That's how it should be used.
Yeah, you know
don't
what?
Use Twitter for news, people.
You're better than us because you're attention whores on the internet.
I follow certain people, certainly movies and music and shit like that.
Okay, what about you, Tim?
I think May I have the Hooper episode coming out and everything I learned from movies. Yeah. And I'm sure there's a grind bin, mini bin that's going to be coming out that I'm on that I did 8 months ago, 2 years ago, something like that. Back when my voice was young and fresh.
Yeah. Old young Yobo. You could only imagine. What about you, Candice?
Just follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HorrorHoochie69.
Yep. And follow at Yobo Gold, at Eddie the Axe, at Bloody Bits. If you want to see what we're doing, you can also join our Patreon at patreon.com/Bloody Bits if you want to get access to the blood bank with over 5,700 fucking movies on it now.
And taking requests.
And taking
TV
requests.
shows. Right?
And TV shows, yes. Let's take a look at the movies and see what we've added recently. Well, apropos, we added a movie called More.
Hey, there we go.
What, the Pink Floyd movie?
Directed and written by Mark Osborne.
Oh, not the Pink Floyd movie. Okay.
1998, Tim.
Okay.
We also added
1968 that they did the soundtrack to a movie called More.
We also added Human Hibachi.
Human is that like the Human Centipede?
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
a Floyd fan, and that's a deep fucking cut.
No, Human Hibachi.
Candice is going to be back on the show.
Human Hibachi's 2020 movie. A man documents his girlfriend's 35th birthday on his phone. What he captures throughout the night are the most disturbing human acts imaginable.
Oh, it sounds good.
Sounds terrible. We've got Colonel Kill Motherfuckers we just added.
Oh.
What the fuck is this? Oh, we might be covering this.
Oh, no.
Check this out. A group of role-playing nerds upset and accidentally kill an ex-army vet whose mother happens to be heavy into the black arts. Newly risen...
Yes. I want to watch that movie.
Newly risen from the dead, the vet returns to go on a murderous rampage of revenge. Basically, this is LARPers meet Uncle Sam.
That does sound pretty good.
Yeah, it looks really good. All the people on the cover look like they were in Don't Fuck in the Woods. So, looks great. And you can get access to that, which is a server. You download an app called Plex, and you can watch all of those movies and more. Patreon.com.
Well, you also have to download Patreon and join our Patreon.
You don't have to download Patreon. Patreon's a website, Tim. I keep telling you, stop.
I have a Patreon app on my phone.
Stop downloading. Okay, well, you could do that too. Yeah. There's Attack of the Killer Chickens, the movie. Wow.
All right.
Never mind. I see Lloyd Kaufman. Fuck it. So for Tim, Candice, and our new friend Jonny, folks, I think that this is how we end it.